a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Tune in to Vern's On Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch. Plus, your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock, following the game, or on your way home from the K. Listen to Vern's postgame show with sounds from the locker room, plus your calls and texts. Miss the show? It's available on demand with the All Things Vern channel on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Your home for Royals baseball.
Hey, it's Cole Riggins, and this is
96.5
The Fan. Your home for Royals baseball.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
You out there, you've made it to Friday. Congratulations. And welcome to the best weekend of the year in Dusty Likens' world.
I don't know, man. The NFL draft is coming up.
It is coming up, but it's not on the weekend. That's a Thursday, Friday type
true.
deal. The weekend, nobody, except Binkley. He'll be watching.
It's on Saturday, and I'm sure they'll have smashing ratings on Saturday.
Yeah. Probably 5 million people will probably, I'm going to guess right now, I think 5 million people will watch the Saturday coverage of the draft. I wonder if they'll tell us what the numbers are.
Oh, I think it'll be higher than that.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I think Saturday's one of those days where it dissipates a little bit. Like, people are in on Thursday from like 7 to 8:30.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Locked in.
And then after about, you don't recognize the first name, you're like, give me Golden Girls or something else that's going on right now. But I think that's kind of where people are on that one. But I think people are excited for Thursday. And then as the weekend comes, you got weekend plans and other things are going on. And, just kind of, I'll see who they pick later on. And if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you don't, right?
Because that's what April 26th would be that Saturday?
Yes. 26th. Yeah, 24 is Thursday. Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah. No, I love this weekend. We got blessed with great weather. It's like the toughest thing to do is not to answer your phone to say, do you want to come play golf? No,
not this weekend.
Yeah.
You don't. I want to watch the golf, right?
Yeah.
I want to watch a man pee in a creek.
Well, you could.
Awesome. I want to watch Fred Couples dominate yesterday. How about Freddie Couples, baby?
She's so great.
71 years old, 1 under par. He shot better than Tiger yesterday. Who would have thought?
Okay, we're not doing this. Come on now.
And then Jack, ripping takes on
Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson.
Well, I guess he's still playing good. I don't know. Is he playing good?
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while.
I love it. That is fantastic.
No, yes, it was great. Freddie Couples, like I tweeted this out last night. Freddie Couples won the day, like hold out twice, and then he went to the side of the crowd, put up the number 2, and then the motion of dunking him.
That's great.
And then he's just like your typical old man, like hitting the 7-wood. Which, I mean, I know that's a club for a lot of people, but plays old man golf, has probably one of the most smooth, fluid, easy swings. And then, of course, hits the neon yellow ball, which is just fantastic to me.
Which is great because you're right, it is. It's so old man, but it's so relatable and it's so nostalgic, Dusty. And I think that's really what gets people when it comes to sports ultimately at the end of the day. Is that nostalgia, and you see a guy like Freddie Couples out there who's 71 years old. It's like when, Tom Watson a couple of years ago in the British Open was doing his thing, and everybody's rooting for Tommy, right? Yes! Everybody wants Tom Watson to win. Everybody's rooting for that nostalgia. I bet everybody's rooting for Freddie Couples now this weekend. Like seeing a 71-year-old go out there and, do something that most 71-year-olds don't do, and,
he'll go out there and shoot a 76.
And that's the thing, right? Like we all know it's coming to an end, but for one day,
and
it's
maybe not. But more than likely, yes.
Yeah,
like he's going to go out, but he gave us a day.
He did give us a day. He hasn't won it since, 92, I think, Freddie Couples? And so that's a long, long time. And you'd love to see that draft, but we know it's not going to happen. But still, it's fun to have that kind of guy, have a nice day yesterday where you're like, damn, all right, man, some of the nostalgia came back, like Hosmer coming back or something like that. Moose and all those guys. You like that stuff.
Is it better day one than McElroy, Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Spieth, Scheffler, Koepka, Hovland? I mean, a lot of guys.
Yeah. A lot of guys. I like Adam Scheffler, too.
Yeah.
Which one did I butcher there?
Scheffler?
Or
Xander Schauffele?
Yeah, Schauffele.
Schauffele. We had a guy who couldn't pronounce Schlafly beer years ago, and it was a Schauffele.
No, your leaderboard brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Justin Rose had a day yesterday. Shot 7 under. Ludwig Aberg, 4 under. Corey Connors at 4 under. And then, of course, Scotty Scheffler at 4 under. Tied for second as well. Bryson DeChambeau. I think that's who we get behind now. Because the message that we saw yesterday is no one outside of the top 10 after day one has ever won the Masters. And Rory, like that one guy who peed in
Wait,
Rae's
say
Creek.
that again. Nobody outside the top 10 on day one has ever won the Masters?
Yeah. So somebody in the top 10 is winning the Masters according to history.
Wow, that's crazy.
So we'll see what happens.
So round one really does matter. You know, a lot of people will say it's just the first day and you kind of get in your feel and then, you know, people make their push and, you know, on the weekend or something. That's an amazing stat, Dusty. I had no idea. That's wild, man.
It's just, I don't know. It's such an intense tournament. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, day one is important because now everybody, you know, before the tournament started, you know, was focused on Rory and was kind of seeing like, okay, what's he going to do? And then he absolutely just chokes it away the final at, you know, 4 holes of the tournament, hits 2 double bogeys.
Yeah.
Just got
good to see the Florida Miami coach playing for the Masters. Yeah.
Yeah. But Tia, baby, that guy's like 100 pounds soaking wet.
I mean, look at that guy. He looks like McDonald.
So maybe not all time, but it says if recent history holds, according to 4Play Podcast on Barstool, if recent history holds, one of these men will be the 2025 Masters champion who you riding with, and it's the top 10 players after day one. So if recency holds, so like 25, 30 years, whatever.
Whatever,
but
yeah.
In the last 2 to almost 3 decades, if it is, nobody outside the top 10 after day one has won the tournament.
Wow.
Rory is now outside of that after hitting 2 double bogeys in his final 4 holes, just a collapse with the chipping, went into the water and then chipped past the hole. I mean, it's just a tough thing for Rory. But, you know, the Masters is great because here we are in the first 6 minutes of the show, and there's 7 different angles you could approach on this Masters.
And we didn't even talk about Ken Griffey Jr. being on the course.
So
taking
awesome.
pictures
Oh,
yesterday,
so awesome.
right? Like, that's cool.
Legend.
Not even allowed to wear a backwards hat at Augusta.
Well, you can wear an upside-down hat, though, at Augusta, right?
We didn't get to talk about how Frankie Fleetwood, who's Tommy Fleetwood's kid, who has the same energy as every golfer.
Well, I've been doing my hardest to get it over the green. I've been practicing as hard as I can. Just not reaching it this year, but I'm just trying my hardest.
Just trying my hardest.
The hell is that, a baby?
No, yeah, he's like 7 or 6 years old playing
That's
golf.
awesome.
That's great.
And then,
So Fleetwood Mac's kid?
yeah, Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And then Gary Player. You know,
Did he take his clothes off yesterday?
no, but I want you to be serious for a minute because you're going to love this audio.
All right.
Because Gary Player was interviewed and he was asked about when Tiger Woods won what he ate. And Gary Player goes from like talking about that to just absolutely blowing you away with words of wisdom.
In 1997, when Tiger Woods won the Masters, he revealed that he famously ate at Arby's every single night. I was wondering when the last time you had any fast food was.
Well, you don't reach 90 as I do if you eat a bunch of crap, I can tell you that.
He's right.
But that's your choice. You know, everybody has a choice. I want to live to 100 because I love people, I love golf, I just love life. I've got a young girlfriend who changed my life. How about that at 90, finding a girlfriend? Tom's not as old as me, but he's also found a new one. And and I'll tell you what, guys, one of you or your wife are going to die. One of you going to die. One of the spouses is going to die. And it's not the end of life. And so many people, that does happen, and they get so disheartened that they don't think they should continue life. The greatest gift bestowed upon a man or woman is life. And so my ambition is to reach 100. So I went to India and I met a gerontologist, and he gave me 11 things to work on, which I adhere to. And so I might drop dead tomorrow, but I'm giving it a hell of a try.
I love that, man. That's
I told you,
awesome,
man.
right?
You
How
got
great
feeling in
is
the back
that?
where the hairs go
Yeah.
up?
When was the last time you had Arby's? Let me tell you about this. I'm 90 and I got a young girlfriend. Okay, that's nothing about Arby's, but go on, sir. Please continue on. But no, I love that. You know, he went to India and got 11 different things. Did he go through that list of things that he wants? But he's 90. First of all, I didn't realize he was 90.
Yeah, dude.
He looks better than most people in their 20s, right?
Yeah.
And he's 90. I mean, my God, good for Gary Player, man. Go out there and keep on keeping on. I hope he does live to 100. That's what I'm rooting for in golf right now. That guy needs to continue to live, man.
Yeah, and you go from that to...
Well, I've been doing my hardest to get it over the green. I've been practicing as hard as I can. Just not reaching it this year, but I'm just trying my hardest.
You're just trying your hardest.
Yeah, hardest.
And then you go from Gary Player, who absolutely makes you melt in your driver's seat, to Frankie Fleetwood, who absolutely makes you smile from ear to ear, to just a bro.
Well, I completely forgot that we had those restrooms on the left of the tee box.
Oh, okay. 13th tee.
Yes, correct. And then I'm like, I really need to pee. Didn't really know where to go, and since JT had an issue around the green, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sneak here in the river. Probably the people would not see me that much, and then they clap for me. Probably one of the clubs that I really got today, like real loud. So that was kind of funny.
Are you concerned that there might be any blowback from that at all? Or I mean, obviously they did see you, right?
Yeah, they saw me. They saw me.
Oh, yeah, they saw
I mean, it was not embarrassing at all for me. So if I had to do it again, I would do it again.
Love it.
So that's the amateur of Arizona State that ripped a piss in Ray's Creek.
Yeah, awesome. The best. Who hasn't peed on a golf course before?
I mean,
seriously, who has not peed on a golf course before? And you're lying if you say you haven't. Everybody has, right?
No, yeah, the best golfer always takes a piss on hole 2.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was the horse before the race or something.
That's in horse racing. Yeah, I mean, mixed emotions, I guess. I mean, I understand, like, because I went down a rabbit hole yesterday of just, like, the comments that this guy got. Like,
oh, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
You know, like, 20% of them are like, who cares? You got to go and you got to go.
Right.
Another 20% are like, this guy clearly just, like, forgot where he was at, which
Right.
I think that's a little bit, but it's kind of funny how he throws some shade towards JT. Like, JT was having some issues on the green, so I figured I had some time.
Yeah.
I had to go. The other part of it was, you know, a lot of people are like, does this guy realize this is Augusta National? Does this guy realize this is there's people, right? Like when you pee on a golf course at Hoots Hollow, where there's houses around you, you still go into like the wooded
You go
area
into the
where
woods,
like no one can really see.
Right.
This guy, no F's given apparently,
Right.
and then if I had to do it again, I probably would.
Yeah, I don't blame. Hey, you got to go. You got to go. I mean, you've been in the parking lot at Arrowhead, and you got to pee, and you see that line is long, so you open the door of the bus and pee behind that, Mac. Right? I've seen you do that many a times out there. So people pee, they got to pee. I mean, you know, people are like, oh my God, it's some creek at Augusta. So what? Don't become baseball where people are mad about the pitch clock and all that stuff and the sanctity of the game. Like, I got to be honest with you, golf needs to loosen up a little bit. Like, that guy's better for golf than anything else that's going on because he's bringing attention, bringing the common man in, going, oh, that dude's got the upside down hat. He went to Arizona State. He's peeing in a creek. Let's go. I'll root for that guy. Let's do this thing, man.
Yeah, Jose Luis Ballastar.
Yeah, Jose Luis Ballastar, man.
Ballister, I guess.
Ballister?
Ballister. I think I
All
say.
right, let's see how far he can go. And he's an amateur, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's a young guy. He's never been there before, obviously. It's awesome. I love this guy.
They're going to absolutely S the bed if he's the low amateur of the round.
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting next to whoever went in the jacket. Like, the worst thing I think the Masters would see from, like, the old heads would be Bryson Winnett and that kid sitting next to him getting the low amateur round.
Yeah.
So a guy that peed and a YouTube sensation over the last couple of years, but also a multiple major winning guy who I'm now rooting for because if we go through the theory, Rory's done.
Rory's done. He's out. Yeah.
Bryson's the guy.
Yeah. So
get behind Bryson.
I just hope there doesn't become like repercussions for this guy. Like all of a sudden, like Augusta's trying to file like, you know, indecency things and stuff like that because he peed in a creek out there. Some Southern woman is all mad about her children or something and some kind of horror of this and all that kind of nonsense.
Charles, there's a snake over there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a snake. That's Ballister.
Yeah. And I love the fact he goes, I wasn't embarrassed. I'm like, I love this guy.
Dude.
Like, were you embarrassed? No! I'm in my 20s and I'm a golfer. You think I'm embarrassed? Hell no.
I go to Arizona State, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what's your talent?
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with who I am.
Somebody embarrassed a baseball yesterday, but it wasn't for a home run. Yeah, that was a single that went 120.9 miles per hour. It was the 12th hardest hit ball in the Statcast era, and it was to Jack Caglione. We talk about him, plus we talk about what is important for the Royals now that we move forward. It's time to put the big boy pants on. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends, you know that ED is not something that you want to deal with, and it's not something that your partner wants to deal with as well, because ED is terrible, and it causes all those stresses in relationships. It creates an anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well, yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. Well, I'll tell you what, now's your opportunity to seek treatment, because Heartland Men's Health has treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men right here in Kansas City, and they're ready for you. So what I want you to do today is schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have 3 locations to serve you in Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office up in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. On the last day of the professional basketball calendar, the 2nd and 3rd seeded teams in the West will face off in one last game that may decide their playoff seeding. Denver will once again head into Houston with a chance to overtake their seed to avoid playing some of the hottest teams in the league. The reigning MVP will lead his team in one last regular season attempt for a playoff push. Don't let the urge to sing along to that catchy tune distract you from that truck drifting toward your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers available class-exclusive advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you, and Hyundai has over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai's always working to ensure the road doesn't get you, IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
I'll tell you, if you're looking to make some weekend plans, the place to go is Foaling, because Foaling is perfect for everybody. You want to take the family out tonight? Go foal around and have some fun. If you want to go on a date night, guys' night out, work night out, you want to do a charity event, you want to celebrate a birthday, you can do it all at Foaling, because at Foaling, it's football plus bowling plus bar, and that equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City, located at 435 and State Line. And Foaling is simple. It's a mashup of football, bowling, drinks, and fun. You're going to set up bowling pins. You're going to throw a football at them. You're going to knock all those pins down, and then you're going to win. And then you're going to set them up again, and you're going to play over and over and over again. And like I said, it's perfect for any type of activity that you want to enjoy. And on Mondays, they have Jeopardy Bar League as well. Foaling is the only place in KC where you can play Jeopardy Bar League. You play right on your phone. You have teams of up to 6, prizes for 1st and 2nd place. And with Foaling, you can cater your own event. Bring your food in or have it delivered right to Foaling, and then take advantage of that world-class bar that has unbelievable cocktails and an amazing beer selection. Foaling Warehouse is also the place to host all those private and corporate events. So reserve your lane now at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com, and get your foal on.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and I want to tell you why I am so happy with the Awaken 180 weight loss at home program. Look, I'm nearing the end because I had a weight loss goal, and I've already met it. I'm not even 6 full weeks into the program. Look, you're looking for a long-term solution to weight loss. That's why I'm looking forward to the idea that once I get into maintenance mode, I have free support for life if I want it. Look, I know if you've been sitting around, you're like, God, I just want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 50 pounds. It doesn't really matter what the number is for you. It's about that weight loss goal. Mine was 30 pounds for that weight loss goal. And I'm happy to say that it has been so easy to do it over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Shoot me a DM. Ask me. Look at the photos I've posted. If you've got questions, I'm happy to answer them for you, but they can answer them for you too. Schedule your consultation today, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com and make the same decision I did. No extra medications, no extra gym, and no calorie counting. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Shane Company, we know getting engaged is a big decision. But once you know, you know. That's the way our customers feel when they choose a Shane Company engagement ring. They walk into a warm welcome and walk out with their dream ring, knowing they got it right. For almost 100 years, we've been offering personalized shopping experiences. And we're in it way past the honeymoon, with a free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, cleanings, repairs, and resizing for life. Shop with us at shaneco.com or at your neighborhood store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
It's almost Andy Reid. The off-season is a perfect time for a $100 tune-up from Renner Garage Door. Get a free replacement quote today. Call or click rennerdoor.com, Renner forward and back.
RENNER. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound past Holmes. Accident has 2 left lanes blocked. Overturned semi there. Just a minor onlooker slowdown in the immediate area. No heavy delays just yet. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Single. Vermean's in to score from third. Waters goes to third. And Jonathan India claps his hands and yells into the Royals' first base dugout. A game-tying hit, and we're locked at 2 in the bottom of the 7th.
Flowers where flowers are given. Bob said when he went to Arizona, guys are going to love this man, Jonathan India. I think they won the trade.
Okay, so you say that. Yeah. I got a buddy, and I'm not going to mention Josh's name on the air, but he is like, I'm still not sold on India. I'm like, what more do you need, Kling?
First and last.
Oh, that's right. I said I wasn't going to say the name of Josh Klingler on the air. Yeah. But I will. I'll throw him under the bus on this one because that's fair. But because he had a tweet yesterday about it, too. I don't know if you saw Kling's tweet yesterday about it was actually really funny, and I want to read it word for word because it didn't get the run that it probably should have. But it said, there are some TV shows that, quote, people say I should be into, but I've tried, and it just hasn't clicked. Severance, The Last of Us, and whenever the Royals hitters 1 and 5 through 9 are up.
Tough.
That's a good tweet.
That's a great tweet,
That's
right?
a great tweet.
It is an amazing tweet. and I was like, okay, this is really good. This is really, 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 really funny. I'm like, but why are you including India into this? Because I know his batting average looked at 210, I think, at some point yesterday. But the dude, first of all, wears his pants the right way, okay? With the socks, he looks the part. He's got the long flowing locks. He's that leadoff guy that we've needed in this lineup. He came through yesterday. He played every position for you already this season. Like, I love the guy. And so he proved himself to me. Even before spring training, I was excited about that move.
Yeah, he had the, 10-pitch at bat yesterday that set him up for success. Royals won yesterday against the Twins. They take 3 of 4, so well done to the hometown boys in blue. We said 3 out of 4 be house money, so you walk away from the blackjack table successful.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's very rare.
But, yeah, now you're in the high-stakes room at the casino. Now you get 3 against Cleveland. You get 3 against them boys from the Bronx. And you get 4 against Detroit. And this is it. This is where it begins. This is where, you look at Cleveland, won the division last year. You look at the Yankees, won the division, knocked you out of the playoffs last year, and started a whole bunch of stuff at second base. Again, Michael Garcia is one of the strongest men in the world because I don't know if I'd have been able to just walk away from that moment. I'd have got my ass kicked, but I that's tough, right? And then you go play 4 against big bad Detroit. where there's possibly I don't have to look at Scooble's days, but Reagan should pitch that Friday night game. Because I believe Reagan's will pitch Sunday this week, because you'll get Bubic tonight, Lorenzen on Saturday, and Reagan's on Friday or Sunday. Then you would play 3 against New York, and then I think Reagan's would be up either that Saturday or Sunday against Detroit.
Okay.
And hopefully we can get a Reagan and Scooble. So there's a lot of different angles and storylines you can get into this series, but you beat Baltimore, who I still believe is one of the best teams in baseball. Are they the Yankees yet? Probably not. But the Yankees did a lot to you last year. They kicked you out of the playoffs. You watched them celebrate on your field. There's passion there. Detroit, one of the hottest teams, probably going to battle it out between Detroit, Kansas City, and Cleveland when the season comes down to it. Minnesota has shown you that they have regressed. We don't need to talk about the Chicago White Sox. And then there's Cleveland. And this is where it gets a little challenging for me, because I don't think the Royals are considered a laughingstock. I don't think that they're considered like a team that doesn't belong. I think they're a team that, as we always say, is on the come when it comes to the respect value of other teams in the American League. Again, Bobby Witt Jr. being the 5-tool Swiss Army knife that he is. Everybody knows where Bobby Witt Jr. plays baseball and who he's affiliated with. It's the Kansas City Royals. We know that. But Cleveland, the last time they played you, hit Jonathan India in the effing face, was Vinny Pasquantino's quote. In my opinion, to set the tone to this road trip where you are facing the big bad and the ugly, right? You've got to set the tone. You've got to be the one that sets the table. And again, I want to make this very, very clear. I'm not asking for Chris Bubic to put one in the ear hole of a Cleveland Guardians player. But I am asking him that when Jose Ramirez comes up hitting number 2, to put one in his rib cage, or to put one that's a little bit of a heater in his back pocket. You can't keep getting pushed around and not do something. Vinny Pasquantino's words and the way he was passionate in the postgame of that game leads you to believe that this team feels that way too. Listening to Vern's postgame show yesterday, driving home from the store, and Vern saying, I've been thinking about this game for a couple of weeks now. What are they going to do? Who's going to be the guy? Is it going to be Hunter Harvey that comes in the 6th and does it? Because in my opinion, you can't do this if you're down. Like if it's 4-0 in the 7th inning and all of a sudden Stephen Kwan comes up and you plunk him in the ribcage, it doesn't have the same effect. If you're Chris Bubic and you go out there and set the tone, batter number 2, Jose Ramirez, hey, guess what? We're here. We remember, and we're ready to kick your ass. That's what I want to see in the first series. We can get later on into New York, into Detroit. But with Cleveland, set the tone. Let people know that you're here. Let them know that you're here, that maybe Clase didn't mean to throw it to his face. Did it twice, threw a pitch he doesn't throw ever, and hit Jonathan India when the Royals didn't have a chance to retaliate. Now you have your opportunity, and I understand some umpires have a quick trigger, might throw Bubic out in the first inning. Dusty, now we got to go to a bullpen game, and you're forfeiting a game, and you're talking about series that you need to win because these are the big bad boys. Sometimes morale and proving it is a little bit more than just a win in April.
Well, we'll see how they approach this. I think going out there and winning the game and winning the series is ultimately your goal. And if you're going to get this stuff in the way of that, I don't necessarily, favor all of that. We'll see how they approach it. Like sometimes there's also the art of not doing something and making these guys think for 3 days they are going to get hit. I was watching a video this morning of Pete Rose explaining how to hit in baseball to somebody on Good Morning America back in the 80s. And the first thing he said, he goes, if you go up there and you're afraid that you're going to get hit, you're going to fail. So I think there's something to that. I think you let that seed be planted maybe all weekend long. They think somebody's going to get hit. Everybody that goes to the plate that doesn't get hit, the next guy's going to be thinking about it. The next guy's going to be thinking about it. Like the mind game is important here in this one, especially with a team against Cleveland. Maybe you hit them in July when you play them again, when they're not expecting it, right? Because they're kind of expecting it right now. So maybe you just let them think about it and think about it and think about it. And then every person goes to the plate and goes, oh my God, are they going to hit somebody? We're going to get this thing going. And now you're playing a mental game with them. And baseball is such a mental game to be played. You've got to find a way to get that advantage because there's 162 of these things, right? Sometimes you win on the field, sometimes you don't, but sometimes you win that mental side of things. And, we used to talk about it with the Chiefs all the time and still probably do. They're beating teams on Monday and Tuesday of that week. They're not winning games on Sunday. They're winning games on Monday and Tuesday. They're also winning games in the preseason when they're putting stuff on tape that they're never going to use, but then you have to prepare for. And you have people thinking and scheming and planning and doing and wasting their time thinking about things that just probably may not happen over the course of a game. And so there is something to be said for that as well, where you get these guys thinking that you're going to hit them, and ultimately you don't, but they're timid in the plate. They're backing away. They're thinking about it, and it's one more thing that they have to process. You hit somebody right away, that lack of communication or that way of going out there and winning a game is over. You've taken that away. You've taken that part of the mind game away from Cleveland. I'd like to toy with them. I'd like to F with them a little bit and see how they approach things and see what they do and keep them waiting. And then when they least expect it, earhole somebody, on that team. But I think the Royals are in a good spot going into this series because I was talking to somebody who runs a minor league team the other day, and they're like, there's only two teams in the Central that are worthy. It's Detroit and it's Kansas City. And everybody else is kind of on the wayside. I'm not a fan of where Cleveland is right now. I don't think they're playing great baseball. I don't think they're a really good team right now. And so I think for the Royals to go in there and take 2 out of 3, that's a must from Cleveland, because what you have coming up on the next couple of days or next couple of weeks, I should say, of the schedule, go out there and take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland, win that game, keep them thinking, and kind of keep a losing team losing. And that's what the Royals have done so far. They kept the losing team losing in Minnesota, keep a losing team losing in Cleveland, and let's see what happens. Because I think winning these games and kind of setting that tone early that you are the team in the American League Central, or you in Detroit are the team in the American League Central, and you can win some games against the Cleveland team, I think that's what you want to do. I think you want to go in there and worry about baseball, take care of business, and play a little bit of a mind game with them. Make them think they're going to get hit. Every batter for the next 3 days is thinking they're going to wear it, and when they least expect it, boom, knock them down.
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland has to play that game because Cleveland's the big dog in the Central. So they're already having the Chiefs think we need to take 2 out of 3. We need to do this. And we know this.
Well, I think you think that for every series, regardless of who you're playing. You want to win series. That's what baseball's all about. You go in and say, all right, we want to win this series. You take each series for what it is.
But there's a level of confidence in those series. Like when you play the White Sox, you're like, we can sweep these guys in a minimum. We can take 2 out of 3. We don't have to worry about it. Cleveland, it's like, we've got to play better. We've got to do this. We've got to, we got to execute this way because of such and such. And we don't want to see this guy because he's a stud. We have to, there's different things I think that you tinker with when you play teams like Cleveland. Plus, you're going to their turf. And Cleveland 6-6, the Royals 7-6. I think Cleveland has to be somebody that you worry about, not worry in like a worrisome way, like where you're like, oh no, here they come. But like, that's a team that you have to beat. That's a team that you have to make, yourself better than. And I felt, at least in my opinion, that it was a little bullyish from Clase to throw pitches that throw a pitch that he does not throw ever, and he threw it. He hit one of your best players in the face, and knowing that you couldn't retaliate. To me, it's a punk move. And I think one thing that a lot of people, kind of hope and pray is that when a team really wakes up, it's from a walk-off home run or like a big three-run bomb in like the bottom of the 8th, and then you go win it in the 9th. But maybe sometimes retaliation can wake up a team. Because this is a team that needs to wake up offensively. Let's not hide behind that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Josh is right. 5 through 9 in the order, they're not very interesting to watch.
And you could almost say 4 through 9. Vinny Pasquantino's hitting $171.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it. Like, if we're going to sit here and complain about how Hunter Renfroe can't do this and MJ Melendez can't do that, Vinny Pasquantino's not doing very well at the plate.
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's something that does need to be discussed. But because we like Vinny, we're not going to say that he's not doing what he needs to be doing, right?
And he's proven it, and he's still getting runs knocked in.
Right. I mean, he's still driving, duck snort here. But however you get the run home, I mean.
He's beneficial to the fact that Witt and India are hitting in front of him.
Yeah, but eventually, like 171's not going to cut it, right? And so while MJ is wearing all of this and Renfroe is wearing all of this, Vinny Pasquantino needs to hit better than 171, right? You can't have that type of hitter be your number 3 guy, be your number 4 guy, be your first baseman in that lineup. You expect production from the corners in your lineup. But as we look at the batting average of 171 for Vinny Pasquantino, he still does come through in those key moments. I don't know if there's a clutch stat that you can look at, like they have the runners in scoring position and 2-out stat, batting average and things like that. You look at that, like you can't teach clutch, right? You can't coach clutch. Right. Vinny Pasquantino does have that knack. And he still, to me, he still feels like when he comes to the plate in a clutch situation, I still believe that he is going to come through and he is going to get hits. But he's got to do better in more than just those clutch situations, because in the non-clutch situations, maybe you can get on base and then it becomes a clutch situation for somebody else. And so you're right about that. I mean, like the MJ Hunter Renfroe thing, I'm done. I can't handle having that conversation anymore because we know what they are.
Yeah.
And if Vinny Pasquantino doesn't step up and he doesn't start producing better, then the entire lineup is going to suffer. So those are the guys that need to produce. And Bobby, yesterday had another big day. His batting average is back up there. Nobody had any worries about him and whatnot. But the rest of that lineup, man, like, it's time to step it up, man. It's time to come play baseball now.
And maybe I'm being a little, rough on Vinny. 178, not 171.
Okay.
My bad. But, I mean, you look at where these teams are. And, again, I think average is kind of skewed these days. But Salvador Perez hitting 200. Vinny Pasquantino's hitting 178. Jonathan India's hitting 234.
Oh, he's up. Okay, so I'm 210 yesterday.
Yeah.
So one hit made a big difference in the average. I mean, that's kind of where we are with the average.
Michael Garcia's kind of come down to earth, now hitting 279. But Vinny does have 10 RBIs. He's far and away your leader. But how much of that is because of who's on base in front of him? Now, again, talking out of both sides of my mouth, you got to get him in somehow. But when you go look at the team stats of the Royals, they're tied for 22nd in the MLB in runs per game at 3.5. You take out the 11-run game against the Brewers.
That's a run per game less than where they were at this time last year.
You take out the 11-run game, it's 2.4. Like, it's not great.
No, it's not.
They're 20th in hits. They're 20th in average. On base percentage, they're 28th, right? There's 30 MLB clubs, right? Or 30 MLB clubs. They're 27th in
Should be
slug.
28.
They're 25th in OPS. They're 29th in home runs. Obviously, playing at Kauffman Stadium affects that a lot.
Things, yeah.
But where they always are successful and where they've continued to be successful, which is what Vern always tells us, is that it's pitching, speed, and defense. And they're elite in those categories. But you've got to be better than bottom 5 offensively. Because, yeah, it's nice if any passer has 10 RBIs. But when we talk about when you're getting ready to play Cleveland, New York, and Detroit, 3.5 runs ain't gonna cut it.
No, it's not. Especially against Detroit. I mean, like that's the one you got to look at. Like, Detroit's the one. That's the team that you're going to be challenging. But through all of those offensive, woes, if you will, that the Royals are currently experiencing right now, the fact that they're still 7-6 shows you how good their pitching is.
Right.
And I think I said this on the air when I came back from spring training. I said I think the feeling around the Royals is they know they're not going to score a lot of runs this year. Like, Santander was their guy that they wanted to go out and get this offseason, right, for a bat. They weren't able to do that. They realized they couldn't go out there and get the bat, so they went out and they approached it from a pitching standpoint. And they went out and got, the guy yesterday, Stevez, and put him back in the bullpen because they said, all right, we're not going to be able to acquire a bat at this time. So what are we going to do? All right, we're going to try to lock down the competition and hold them to as few runs as possible because we know we're going to be offensively challenged this year. And that's kind of what they're doing. Like, they're kind of following that blueprint that we had for them. And that's why when you look at this team and we talk about moves that need to be made, I mean, other than Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez, everybody's expendable on this ball club right now. Everybody's expendable to make this team better. I'm talking offensive players. I'm not factoring in the pitchers at this point in time. But everybody's expendable on this team right now. Other than Bobby and Salvi, everybody is replaceable on this team. And they've got to find a way to get that offense going. I just don't know that they have the players right now to get that offense going. And that's why we talk about making trades from other organizations and watching some of these teams start to tank a little bit and who you can pluck off their rosters that are major league bats that can come and help you. Like, you mentioned Harrison Bader the other day. I like that guy a lot, man. He'd be a nice fit here in Kansas City.
Be his 6th team in like 6 years. But where they are opposite is on the side that where it makes sense. Like, we've talked about it. Vern hits it on the, it beats a dead horse with it. You look at Team ERA, they're 3rd in baseball.
That's right.
Okay? You look at WHIP, they're 7th in baseball. You look at homers allowed, 9th. Fielding percentage, 4th in fielding percentage. They play top 5 defense. They have a top 5 rotation. And stealing the base, 12th, 11th. That's Tolbert's a big part of that. Bobby Witt Jr. is a part of that. But almost top 10 in stolen bases. Top 5 in pitching rotation, top 5 in fielding percentage. So speed, defense, and pitching is still what's doing it. Only giving up 3.5 runs a game, only scoring 3.5 runs a game. But they're gonna have to start hitting.
But they don't have any ties.
No, they're gonna have to start driving in more runs because. Yeah, you say beat up on the bad teams. That's nice. Minnesota can't hit either. Minnesota is worse than the Royals when it comes to being offensively challenged. But we talk about 5 through 9. It's basically been India and Bobby getting on. Sal's been irrelevant. Vinny Pasquantino, 10 RBIs is nice. You're knocking the guys in front of you, but then you're not getting on base. You're not knocking anybody else in. And if they don't get on base, then 3 through 9 has been a complete, utter disaster. So somebody's going to have to step up. Is that Drew Waters? I don't know.
No, I mean, we can't rely.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's been up and down.
And he brought a little spark yesterday. Made a nice diving play in center field.
MJ, credit with him, too.
Made a nice diving play. But again, like, this is now, like, we talked about how this past, stretch of games was the first, pop quiz. Like, we're out of the syllabus. This is now when, it really becomes a grind. This is where, this semester really starts to take off, because now it's like you can catastrophically fail in these next 10 games. No days off.
Right. 10-game road trip.
In a row.
Tough road trip. It's not an easy road trip. It's Cleveland. It's New York. It's Detroit. It's good teams, that you're going to be facing. But I think that there's good news, bad news to all this. Like, the good news is the Royals went into the season with a plan. And everything that they kind of said and talked about and realized that was going to happen really is happening. Like, the pitching has been outstanding for this ball club. I mean, we can't talk enough about how good the pitching has been for the Royals this year. Thank God it's been where it is, because offensively, as we mentioned, they are offensively challenged. And that's why you have to develop and you have to, bring these kids up, through the system, and maybe Jack's the guy and he's the answer at some point in time. But at this point in time, some of these other guys that are making major league salaries have to go out there and produce. Like, in a perfect world, Vinny Pasquantino turns into Eric Hosmer. And what I mean by that is, guy gets on, Hosmer would always seemingly rope a double in the gap and end up on second base, and the guy ahead of him, whoever that was, would come around to score, and now you have a guy on base. Vinny Pasquantino is driving in the runs, but he's doing it by making outs, right? Like, it's a sac fly, it's a ground out to the right side, and the run comes home, or something of that nature. I want more of the Eric Hosmer type of at-bats, where he comes up and drives one into the gap, and he becomes a guy standing on second base, and then the guy behind him is able to do it. And you keep that line moving. That's how that offense was successful, back in the day. They had some pretty good hitters in that lineup, but they kept the line moving. They kept moving forward. They kept changing second base out with a different player. And that's what they need to get. So the RBIs are nice, but the at-bats could be more productive, if that makes sense.
And to finish the conversation, I think what you do is you fire up your lineup with a little bit of retaliation. Pitch one. I like the way the text line thinks. Do it early, do it now, and have Lorenzen go out there, or have Schreiber or somebody like that go out there and be an opener just to plunk a guy, because the umpires are aware of the situation.
Yeah, sure.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
If we're talking about it and we're passionate about it, the umpire's like, hey guys, you remember what happened last time these guys plays? This guy got hit in the face, so let's just, if they warn both bullpen or dugouts before the game, I'll be sick to my stomach. If they don't, I'm going to expect something's coming. Now, again, that would probably go against what Matt Quatrero is, which is a nice, laid-back, cool gent, but I'd like to see a little red ass come out. That's just me wanting a Christmas gift in April. That's all I have to say, and I think that might be something where it's like, all right, there we go. Let's get aggressive at the plate. Let's go knock these guys in the teeth with our baseball bats that have been asleep for the first 13 games of the season. It's Bob Fescoe. It's Mac Moriam, Dusty Likens. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up, Tiger to the Senior Tour, what dominance would be had, because somebody had some encouraging words for the Big Cat. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have done such an amazing job. They came out the other day, did that second cut of the lawn, and I looked at it, I went, well, I can't believe this is my lawn. Already looking good after the first fertilizer treatment, the first pre-emergent. I don't have dandelions. I've got a great-looking lawn already, and I have the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control to thank. I tried to do it myself for years, but I stink at it, so I called the college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and I said, get on out here, fix this lawn. And after they got done laughing at my lawn, they're like, we got this, no big deal at all. And it looks amazing. They came out about 2 weeks ago now and had a great conversation with us. We walked around the yard. They told us what they were going to be able to do, and they said, don't worry about it. Trust us. We'll fix your lawn. And it's been the best decision we've made. And the pest control factor comes into play as well. I can't wait until we have that mosquito dome over our house, and there's no mosquitoes, there's no ticks, there's no fleas. You can sit outside and enjoy life, and the pets can sit outside and enjoy life as well. So if you're looking for that perfect company to fix your backyard, your front yard, put that mosquito dome over your house, get in touch with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They've been in business since 1985, and if you mention you heard it here on The Fan, you'll get up to half off your first application. Expect the best. Don't wait. Call them today or just visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time.
One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together, so close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Wow. On Fridays, BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA, is making first field goal scorer wagers more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite baller to score the first field goal, only to see him dish the rock to his teammate for the easy layup? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first field goal scorer scores second instead. Simply bet on any player to score the first field goal during a Friday game. If you're right, you win. If your pick scores second instead, you get your stake back in cash. Keep the hoop dreams alive Fridays this NBA season. Grab the chance at getting your stake back at BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound, gets a little slow past Holmes over towards the 104th Street area with an accident blocking 2 left lanes. Overturned semi there, seeing periodic onlooker slowdowns and no real delays just yet. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Of course, we'll keep you updated with all the Masters updates that come along. There's no tee-off times coming at the tee box yet. But again, remember yesterday.
Nobody's teed off at this time already?
7:47.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
I think it's
there.
like 7:48.
Is it really? We're like, it's like a minute behind. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, it's already like almost 8 o'clock and nobody's teeing off down there? They should have been teeing off a long time ago.
By the way, Bryson DeChambeau was already on the tee box this morning, or on the driving range 4 hours before his tee time. Nobody else is out there.
Why don't they do it like charity golf tournament style where they just start everybody on different holes?
Oh, like shotgun start?
Yeah, shotgun start this thing. Why not do that? Do they ever do that in any golf tournaments?
Not unless it's probably like live.
Oh, do they do a shotgun start? That's kind of cool. It's something different.
They might. Yeah, there's a tee time.
Yeah.
There was a tee time at 7:24 their time, so our time 6:24, 7:13. So yeah, they teed off. My bad. But nobody that you really care about, I would say.
Well, that's not fair to their moms or wives. I mean.
I recognize Bubba Watson.
I know Bubba.
Who'll be teeing off at 7:13. That's the first name I recognize.
Hey, Bubba!
Yeah, 7:13. Yeah.
I got to say, Bubba!
Bubba kind of sucks.
Can you be nicknamed Bubba if you're not from south of the Mason-Dixon line?
I think he is from Georgia.
Not shocked.
That's good.
Went to the University of Georgia, 2-time Masters champion.
Yeah.
And smashed Waffle House after his first win.
Was that 2012 that he
Sure.
did that?
The shot out of the
shot
pine
out of that was
straws.
awesome.
And they asked him, like, how'd you know to do that shot? He's like, well, I played golf here in college. I've been in that situation before. They're like, oh.
Okay, cool.
Crazy.
Great.
Yeah, mud ball.
Do they sell mulligans before these tournaments?
I just never know, like, what you're doing with this great event. Like, I don't know if you're, like, throwing it in my face about how, like, you just make fun of it, or if it's just, like, you're genuinely asking.
Like, they should sell mulligans. I asked you yesterday, if they sold mulligans for $1 million a mulligan, how many golfers would buy mulligans at these tournaments?
I mean, the real answer is 0. But if they could, I think they'd buy one aside.
You think each golfer would plunk down $2 million a round for mulligans?
Well, I mean, they wouldn't pay. Their sponsors would pay.
Well, whoever would.
Yeah.
But you really think so?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of cash.
I mean,
man.
imagine if Rory had a mulligan yesterday on one of those chips.
That's why it kind of came up.
He's probably sitting at 300.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah,
It's
I
worth
guess.
$1 million.
Is it worth $1 million? What's the purse for the Masters? $8-9 million, something like that.
I think it's a green jacket, not a purse.
Oh, you don't get anything for that?
No, I'm kidding. I can tell you what it is.
But I mean, I think, sell a mulligan. Like, you want to make the game
really
more interesting, right? Like, that's what we're always trying to do. We're always trying to reinvent sports, right? We've reinvented baseball in a great way. People love it, right? They love the pitch clock. They love everything that's come in baseball, the ghost runner and extra innings. What if one of these tournaments did decide to start selling mulligans for like $1 million and all of it went to charity or whatever? They picked the charity and they did that. And then people are like, this is kind of cool. What if we do this in all of these tournaments where you can buy mulligans and all the money goes to charity? How many golfers would sign up and buy a mulligan in this thing, right?
$20 million purse.
$20 million. So yeah, you give yourself $2 million a day times 4 days. That's $8 million. So you stand to be plus 12 if you cash in and win the entire. Well, I guess that's the purse. That's not for the number one guy. But I mean, that's a lot of money. I still think $1 million. But I mean, to have one yesterday, if Rory had one yesterday, or if whoever had one, or I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Something different for golf, right? It's okay if we can reinvent baseball and the NFL and get rid of the tush push. We can change the rules of golf a little bit.
Yeah. But golf might have a different look here in a couple years because Tiger Woods will be joining the senior tour before we know it. That's amazing to say out loud. Tiger Woods going to join the senior tour. I've tried to tell people for the last 2 years, it's time to let go of Tiger. It's not happening anymore. But maybe this is something that you'll enjoy because he'll absolutely destroy the senior tour.
Oh yeah, it'll be like Kramer at Del Boca Vista beating people in ping pong, man. Like that. That's what ultimately that's going to be. All the old dudes are going to be like, come on, man, it's not fair. Tiger's showing up to this thing. None of us stand a chance. He walks in and they look at him like, oh, God, 50-year-old Tiger going out there and crushing 70-year-old dudes. The only player that stands a chance, probably Gary Player, right? Because he's not eating at Arby's, and so he's going out there. He could go, toe for toe with Tiger Woods and something like that. But that's what I love to see. I love to see that dominance in sports, and I'll be watching the senior PGA Tour because I'm addicted. I can't quit Tiger Woods, and so if he's playing in a tournament and he's going to go out there and wreck old guys and be like Kramer down there beating the snot out of people, let's go, man. I'm all for that. I think it's going to be great to watch him play on that tour.
Won't watch the Masters, but we'll watch the senior tour of old guys hitting yellow balls.
That's right. Tiger Woods. Yeah, you got to have a draw. You got to have a pull. You've got to have something to get me to the table. Tiger Woods gets you to the table. I think I speak for a lot of people. If Tiger's playing in something, you're watching.
I wish so badly for just once in my life you would take me for granted and just watch Bryson DeChambeau today. That's all I have to add.
Going on today.
Yeah, you sure do.
I do. I got a lunch. I got the gym. I got to pick up my kids. We got cheerleading tryouts. Got a happy hour. I got a lot going on today.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot.
It is. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, it all happens in the same, like it's all in the same.
Well, I'll leave here at 10 o'clock. I'll go to the J. I'll leave the J. I'll go to lunch. I'll leave lunch. I'll go pick up my kid. I'll go to my happy hour. We'll take our kids to, cheerleading tryouts. Like, I'm not going to be sitting around watching golf today. It's just not my thing.
Well, again, I'm not telling you to watch golf. I'm telling you to watch Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you want to watch it on your phone or on Twitter and pay attention to it, if you want something that will draw you, because that's the problem that a lot of people have with sports like this, is that they're like, well, Tiger's on it, I'm out. It's like, well, yeah, Michael Jordan's not in the NBA. That doesn't mean you have to be out. One day when Patrick Mahomes isn't the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, it doesn't mean the Chiefs can't be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you watch how as you make fun of this tournament, how it's, old heads and snobs and these Southerners that, this is the game. Bryson DeChambeau is he's almost the reverse of that. Like, he was a guy that nobody rooted for, that nobody liked, myself included, that completely revamped himself by using YouTube and fun stuff to become relevant. And now he's literally tied for second for the lead at the Masters. And he's going to tee off early, so it'll be done before, PM tonight. And he's a guy that will engage it differently. Like Scottie Scheffler, dominant, great golfer. But he'll hit a great shot and just, thank you. Bryson will a great shot. He'll look at the crowd. He'll make contact. He'll smile big. If you want something that I can sell you on, if I'm being a car salesman for the Masters or golf, Bryson DeChambeau is that fun, different thing that is golf. Justin Rose is not that guy. Corey Connors is not that guy. Will Zalatoris is not that guy. Max Homa is definitely not that guy. But Bryson DeChambeau can be that guy. And if he's at the lead by the end of on Friday and we go into moving day and he's a focus point, oh, baby, you're going to have some people talking about Bryson DeChambeau. And I know that, hey, you're glazing him up, but I'm trying to give you a selling point of what golf can be fun with. And he's the one guy that we've got.
Okay.
And something come to an end. And it was an emotional night last night for some of us that enjoy the guys of TNT.
For the fans out there they think NBA, and they think NBA on TNT. That's why it hurts tonight to know that's gone after this next playoff run, and that's the business of basketball, I guess. But I will say this, no time for bitterness. It is time for appreciation. It's time for gratitude. And it has been my pleasure to be one of your co-workers, one of your teammates, and a part of this family. Love you.
I mean, if that doesn't tug on every angle of your heartstrings.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, dude.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I watched that 3 times. Every time I feel like there's allergies in the room.
I like what he said, too. He says, we're TNT. We're an entertainment network that has sports.
Yeah.
And that's the way we think. You know, we're an entertaining show that kind of focuses on sports. And that's where the world is. And that was Ted Turner's credo back in the day, right? Like, that was 1989 when he said that to these guys. He goes, we're an entertainment network that has sports. And so sports is part of entertainment. And that was the one that kind of hit me. And then watching that, it reminded me back in the day when I was a kid when CBS lost the NFL. And all of those guys that you grew up watching, Madden and Summerall and all these, you didn't know what was going to happen. CBS lost the NFL. It's 1993, and they're getting ready to go to this new network called Fox that had a bad cartoon called The Simpsons and Tracy Ullman. And you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then Fox hired literally everybody from CBS, producers, directors, announcers, all the people that made it work on CBS that were so good. They went over to Fox, and here we sit, 30 years later, and we haven't missed a beat with the NFL. In fact, Fox made it better. And so while today stinks for all of those folks, they're all going to go on to Amazon or wherever the next case may be, and we'll forget about the TNT side of things, even though you get nostalgia, and it will be even bigger and better than what it has been on TNT, because that's what these new networks are going to do. These streaming services are going to do. It's going to be bigger and better. It won't be the same. Nothing ever is. We move on, and you feel bad for a lot of those folks that worked all those years in that situation, but I think it's going to be better going forward for the NBA. That's why they're making that change, and we'll see. And maybe it won't. I could be totally wrong about that, but the only other thing that I really have to compare it to is when CBS lost the NFL and everybody went to Fox, and we didn't miss a beat, and a robot showed up on the first game of the season, and everybody had a good time.
Do you think it can be better if it is different?
Of course, yeah. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's not better or it's worse. I mean, I think I'll go back to the baseball argument. Baseball's different now, and it's better. It's better. Yeah. I think it can be. I mean, Charles and Shaq and all those guys are still going to be there, right? Like, you're still going to have those guys there in some form. I don't know how we're going to see, ultimately, see it. But as long as those guys are part of it, yeah, I think it can be there, because those are the talented guys that are on the set facing you that we all watch and we all, kind of resonate with, enjoy. They're better than the game. We've said that for years. I'd rather watch the pregame show than the game, because that's how entertaining those guys are. And I think they resonate for a lot of people. So, yeah, it definitely can be better. It'll be different, obviously, but it can be better.
Ernie's an icon. That's my sports idol. I love him.
He's
so
one of the
much, man.
nicest guys too.
Josh, he's
Like,
incredible.
He just is. Like you
Beat
call Ernie to
cancer.
come on the
Yep.
show or whatever. He wants to talk to you on the phone and have a nice conversation. It's like, I don't want to waste your time, but he's just a genuinely nice human being. And I know sometimes you peel that curtain back and you meet your stars and your heroes and you're like, oh, that guy
damn.
sucks, man. And then you meet Ernie Johnson, you're like, okay, this guy's unbelievably awesome. Yeah.
Max Sport icon is Ernie Johnson. Mine's Josh Vernier, and he said something that got my bones rattling yesterday. We'll play it next on the other side on 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, that summer travel season is coming up fast. And if you made your flight reservation, I'm going to ask you, have you made your parking reservation yet? Because what I do is when I make my flight reservation, I immediately make a parking reservation at Park and Go, because I know when I do that, I've got my spot reserved, and it's one less thing that I have to worry about when it comes to that day of travel. You make your reservation as soon as you make your flight reservation at bookparkandgo.com. And then you can reserve that covered parking spot and know your car is protected from all of the elements while you're out of town. The other thing about reserving the spot early is you can prepay and save money. Get their lowest rate possible when you book early and prepay. Then you show up on the day of your flight, you give them your reservation number, and they direct you to that parking spot that they have reserved for you. You'll pull in and the van meets you right away and takes you right to the airport terminal. You don't have to wait for a bus and worry about them showing up or missing your flight. Park and Go takes care of everything, and they have employees that are happy and love working there, and it shows because their customer service is flat out awesome. When you get back, just grab your bags, walk off the plane, and the bus is there. Jump on it and go back to the trunk of your car. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bag all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
FanDuel is giving new customers an offer unlike any other for the first major at Augusta. Because right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Can Jordan Spieth get that second green jacket? Can Will Zalatoris finally break through in a major? You can bet on all these storylines, plus more, including first-round leaders, top 20s and 30s, 3-balls, tournament matchups, and so much more. Plus, you'll get paid instantly when you bring home a major win this major season. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and swing for some green at Augusta. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Shane Company engagement rings are expertly crafted to fit both your style and your lifestyle.
My wife's an artist and works with her hands. Shane Company helped me create a ring that's beautiful and sleek. She loves it.
Shane Company rings are crafted with care using high-quality materials, and we set each center stone by hand in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store. We also protect your ring, including the center stone, with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Let us help you find your perfect ring, in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Clog drain? Our experts clear tough clogs fast and include a free camera inspection, so you have confidence that your pipes are flowing freely. Unclog your drain for just $74. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound. You're slow now from Holmes over towards 104th Street area with an overturned semi blocking 2 left lanes. Heavy wrecker and a crane on the scene now, so a lot to look at, and things are slowing down. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Your chance to win $965. Plus, an autographed Chiefs helmet as part of our draft contest when we broadcast live from the Landing in Liberty during the first round on April 24th. The Fans Draft Party. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Little Cody. That was a band that like shocked me when I saw them for the first time. I was like, oh, they're singers. Big guy. Cody Cambria. Yeah, well, he was. It's like Blues Traveler. Did you ever listen to them?
Love them.
Great band, ahead of their time. Their lead singer,
John
massive
Popper.
dude.
He's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah,
Give that guy a lot of credit, man.
And he used to just wear a vest full of harmonicas.
He was
just pull them out
unbelievable.
throughout the show and play. Yeah, he was great.
Ooh, I mean, that hook, man. Ooh, let me
Yeah.
tell you, that's some of the best music you'll hear back in the day.
The hook will get-
band.
Yeah, the hook will bring you down.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, they were great. They were ahead of their time. Or maybe they were perfect for their time. I don't know. I think they would thrive today, though.
Yeah, shout out to your friend on this
Yeah,
song.
Big Al. So I want to get into what Vern said, but this I sent you guys yesterday because I didn't even realize this happened with the Twins series with that Woods Richard or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I didn't realize this until you
Right?
sent the John Boy Media thing yesterday. Yeah.
So listen to this audio because maybe you guys recognize. If you did, shame on you for not letting us know on the text line. Come on now. Come on, somebody. But this was in the Twins game.
So Melendez is on second base. Simeon Woods Richardson is looking at him, staring at him, takes a deep breath, smiles, blows him a kiss. Wait, what? Throws the pitch. It gets hit for a single over the first baseman's head. First and third now. Same inning, Isbell's up, and he hits a bouncer off the plate, but he's fast, so he beats it out. Isbell becomes the next talking point of this video because him and Woods Richardson have a lot going on. In his next at-bat, it's a 2-0 count, which usually means you're going to swing big, but you can see his eyes darting. He sees where the third baseman's playing. They're shifted a little bit at him. So he's like, I'll lay down a 2-0 bunt. Lays down the bunt. Pitcher stumbles over himself. Okay, we're moving on to the 6th inning now, where Woods Richardson is still on the mound, and he got strike 1 and then strike 2, and he's feeling good. Fastball to finish it. Doesn't get the call. Does a little spinorama. I don't know. Think that was in there. Next pitch. Gets him swinging again, says, yep. Now Isbell's the next batter, and he says, oh, you going to bunt again? Hey, what's up, dude? You going to bunt again? Good to see you. And you can see that Isbell sees this. His eyes kind of like look towards the pitcher's mound. He's like, what? And the first pitch of the at-bat, does he bunt? No, he takes him deep for a home run. Bunt? I already did that. Now I'm going to prove I can hit a homer. Simeon Woods Richardson looking up like, ugh.
So I didn't know that happened.
I didn't either. I need more on that, too.
Yeah,
right?
so like blows him a kiss, fails. Kyle Isbell goes up 2-0, looks down the third base line, throws a bunt down. You have got to respect that. That sounds like Bob Fescoe basketball or baseball 101.
Absolutely. I don't understand why more guys don't do that. It just doesn't make any sense.
And then he shows Isbell like a bunting motion. You can watch the video on John Boy Media on Twitter. And he shows like, you gonna bunt? Like he says, are you gonna bunt again? And Isbell kind of looks at him like, this mother.
Yeah.
And then bang, home run. So Minnesota thinks they got a hog that they can flex towards the Royals and push them around. And the Royals said, hold my beer.
I hate the fact that Isbell, though, hit that home run in that situation. Like, do that every at-bat, right? Like, why? You see athletes do this a lot where the situations, get like this, for example, and then, boom, you hit one out of the ballpark because you want to show that guy up. Use that aggression on every at-bat. It would serve the team well if you went up there and pretended like Woods Richardson was pitching to you every single time and you start lacing them all over the field. Like, part of me is like, that's cool, but part of me is like, you needed that to go out there and get a hit? Like, come on now.
But he started with the bunt.
Yeah.
And the funny thing to me is that Woods Richardson tried multiple times to be that guy. You're not that guy, right? You are a Richard. He's not my Richard of the week. We'll get to that a little bit later at 9 o'clock on this Friday. But, like, that's hilarious to me.
Oh,
like,
I love it. Yeah.
You tried to flex, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and you were outflexed.
Yeah.
Like, blowing a kiss to MJ Melendez, and then
in April?
Yeah.
When you're on the Twins?
And then you lose 3 out of 4, which is the retaliation that the Royals got out of that.
Was that before or after he headbutted the ball as he fell on the ground into foul territory?
Well, that's in that a whole collage. Like, it's part of that.
Okay. So
that's the bunt.
So that's the bunt. That was the bunt. Okay.
Yeah, and he slid head first.
He slid head first. So he's doing this stuff after he embarrassed himself, right?
Oh, yeah.
After he looked like a little leaguer. After he looked like a fat guy in beer league softball.
That's right.
After he looked like an old man falling down, not getting their tapioca pudding. After he looked like a weeble wobble, but he did fall down.
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
After after he fell down like the fat kid at the pool, like I was, made a big splash and headbutted the ball out. Right, exactly. Like, they make fun of you. I got to put my shirt back on because I got all my rolls showing here, right?
Voices.
So after he made an ass of himself, he still did all of that, and then became a bigger ass.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just making sure the timeline is correct. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Speaking of an ass, Vern went full red ass yesterday on the postgame show.
Who are we throwing at, and who's throwing that ball when we see Cleveland?
No, I've been talking about this, thinking about this for a while. I love where your head's at, Charlie. Hunter Harvey's my choice. Urseg can do it as well. Who do I want? Well, you hit our leadoff hitter. We're coming right back at Stephen Kwan. That's my mindset. Hey, way too early in the season to think, to allow a division foe to think that they can own the inside part of the plate and there's going to be no retribution if one slips. Kwan, Ramirez, that Manzardo kid did not care for what I saw from him when they were at Kauffman Stadium, meaning he just hit the ball really well. So, listen, I know it sounds silly. It sounds barbaric. So be it. An eye for an eye. I want retribution in Cleveland. I want revenge in the Bronx. And I want to remind the Tigers that it ain't your time just yet.
I mean, give me a beer and a couch. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, Vern's ready to go on that. To hear that from Vern is pretty good, right? Because he's like a normal guy.
He's the one that's always setting us down to be like, listen, kids, Caglio may not even be up this year. But when he is up, it's not going to be a good thing because that means somebody, and you're like, oh, man, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, right.
To talk some sense into my mind, Vern. Vern wants
Cags
it now.
may be playing first if Vinny keeps hitting 178.
Or Cags keeps hitting balls 120.9 the opposite way. 12th hardest ball hit in the Statcast era if he was in the Major League Baseball organization. But again, dude, Vern wants it.
Yeah.
Vern, and that's the guy that's always cool. That's like if something happens to you in a game, your dad looks at you and gives you that nod like, go do it.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, Dad said I could. Like, hey, this kid punched me in the back of the head in the playground. I want you to go up to that kid, and I want you to punch him back.
That's what I tell my kids all the time.
And if you get in trouble, we'll talk about it at the house.
And that's just between the two of them.
I'm going to put you in the room, lock the door, and you guys come out.
Punch her back. What do I care?
So that's Vern. Punch back.
Yeah.
That's the narrative of this Cleveland series.
I hate the fact that he said Stephen Kwan because I want Stephen Kwan on my team.
He murders the Royals.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want him on my team, right? So he doesn't kill the Royals anymore. But also, too, he wears a hoodie under his jersey. I kind of respect, but I really like Stephen Kwan. Like, if you said I could pick a guy off the Guardians to have on this team, obviously Jose Ramirez is that guy. More logically speaking, Stephen Kwan's a great baseball player, man. I'd love to have him on this team. Give you a little bit of a bat in the lineup and can move runners over and play some good defense. Like, I really like Stephen Kwan, but he may be the guy you have to pull, the plunk.
Because Vern says do it early and do it early in the season.
See, that's where I make these guys think. Hell, I'd make them think all year. Last time you face them, last at bat, boom, nail the guy. Like, oh, we've been waiting all year long for this. Yeah, you've been thinking about it all year long, and now you finally get to wear it. There's something about that for me that makes them, kind of cringe when they get back into that box because they know it's coming. They just don't know when.
I want a riding two-seamer on the hip or in the rib cage. I want it. This feels like WWE. The text line brought up a good point. Go sign Kyle Farnsworth for a day.
Kyle Farnsworth.
Seen that guy lately? Jacked. Even more so.
He's always been jacked.
Yeah, but now it's even bigger.
What's he doing?
Lifting weights.
He's
apparently.
not playing anymore, though, right?
No,
he's got to be in his 50s.
He's doing a lot, man. All I know is that guy's jacked. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about Mike Florio because in the rundown, Bob just put F Florio. We'll explain what that means on the other side of Fescoe and Dusty.
Guy's a douche.
96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and let's talk about something that maybe you're afraid or you've been putting off to talk about, and that is low testosterone because it can cause a host of problems from fatigue, brain fog, low sex drive, bad workouts. Well, wait no longer and go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health who are experts at treating low testosterone. You can go to their website at heartlandmenshealth.com, take a low T quiz on their website. It's simple, 10 questions, yes or no answers, and it takes 2 minutes. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. They will do your lab work and have your results within 30 minutes. A licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options, and you will make the decision together with their medical team. Cost of the appointment is only $99, which includes medical consult, T and PSA test. If you sign up for the testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. So say goodbye to the fatigue. Say goodbye to the low sex drive, the brain fog. Say goodbye to all of it and go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health who are successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. Most men wait a year or longer, and there is no need to wait. So they have 3 locations to serve you. They have one in Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and remember, I've got those friends at GiveMeTheVin.com, and GiveMeTheVin.com is already the best place to sell your car, and now it's even better with the GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. Give Me The VIN is giving away $25,000 in cash every month. There are 2 ways to win. Get 250 chances to win with your mail-in entry or 1,000 chances to win if they buy your car. GiveMeTheVin.com wants to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup truck, SUV, minivan, supercar, or exotic. So say goodbye to dealing with dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with hassle-free online options to sell your car for more. It's as simple as going to GiveMeTheVin.com and entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. You'll get an offer on your car in minutes that is always well above any dealer quote and is guaranteed to beat a CarMax offer, or they'll send you a check for $100. You can go to one of their pickup locations or they'll come to you. It's easy and it's fast. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, and it's so easy you can do it in your underwear. If you don't believe me, just listen to this.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If you got dandy dandelions, they're prancing in your yard. Hit the grass patch, weed and feed, hit them fast and hard. Come on down to the grass patch. The grass patch high on grass.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation. Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then You get into the all-new Nissan Murano, and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof, while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on select exterior paint and stain via mail-in rebate. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See rebate form for complete list of eligible products. Offer excludes clearance and mist tints and can't be combined with any other offer, promotion, discount, or coupon.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound, gets slow at Holmes and stays quite heavy over towards 104th Street with an accident blocking 2 left lanes. Overturned semi there, so this will take a while to clear yet. Heavy wrecker and a crane on the scene now. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Jayhawk for life getting down.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were in school together at the same time. I mean, this was my freshman year at KU. We used to, we had a party we did at KU where it required to have, let's just say, pine trees at the party. So we would go around in the middle of the night and cut down trees all over Lawrence and out in the country and stuff like that. And that was some of the best times of my life. And we called them tree runs. You go out there and just cut down pine trees on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And it was great. And we had this one guy, Jason Zimmerman, and he drove this horrible red fire truck looking thing. And this was the only tape that he had. Tape in his car at the time was
What's
this.
that?
And
Like-
so we
yeah,
listened
like
to
duct
it.
tape?
Yes. And so
Scotch?
it was this over and over and over again as we're out there cutting down trees. The worst part was we were out there. We went over the railroad tracks, cut down trees. Train came and parked. We were stuck out there for hours. You ever get stuck behind a train?
That's the worst.
Hours we're standing out there. We didn't have beer or anything back then.
That's like the train that goes through the area where like the Rieger is at Knuckleheads.
Yes, exactly. You get stuck behind that, you're screwed.
You might as well just put it in park
and just sit.
and lean back.
Just sit, man. Get out of your car and tailgate at that point in
I've been
time.
behind that thing twice.
Oh, it's awful.
Brutal.
Yeah, they need to build a bridge,
something
over the top of that track because there really is no way around it. The last time we went down there, right at the beginning of January, and we went for Diane Houston's birthday. Happy birthday, Diane! Back in January, we got stuck. Like we're supposed to meet at 4. We're there at like the train tracks at 3:50. Got inside like 4:30. And I was like, "The hell is going on with the damn train?" And then it goes back and forth and back and forth. Like, come on now. So somebody needs to build a bridge over that there. Maybe Q can get that done before he leaves office.
Yeah.
Get something built down there over those train tracks.
That'd be a win.
It would be. Like in a baseball stadium, might as well build a bridge.
Okay. Those pine trees make it hard to breathe. Not speaking of elevation, speaking of the weed. That's not originally mine. That goes to Baker Blankenship, who will be at Grinders eventually later on in May. Can't wait to go see that young upcoming artist. Somebody says on the text line, Dusty singing Boxcar Racer was a random Friday surprise. Please do a whole segment as Tom DeLonge. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. That's a patio session conversation for that later on in the summer. But you said F. Florio.
That's exactly right. I think most of Kansas City agrees. Nobody likes this guy, right? Nobody likes Mike Florio, right?
I thought we liked him now. We had him on the
we had a nice conversation, but he continues to poke the bear, right? And
he
I'm
took
the
a
bear.
deuce in front of me in the bathroom at the airport.
He did.
True.
Right?
Walked right in there, man.
Did he wash his hands?
I don't know. I didn't stick around long enough.
Yeah.
I said, go ahead, man. I'm pee shy. I'm going to go in the stall. He goes, oh, me too. And I was like, oh, yeah, go ahead then. Straight down.
Wow.
You got to go, man.
You got to go. I mean, like,
But he said me too to the pee shy?
No, just to the stall.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, me too. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, I got to use the stall. Go for it.
Breaking news.
Which is fine. Oh, my God, Mike Florio poops.
So my Super Bowl pretty much consisted of Rappaport in the pisser and Florio in the bathroom.
That's where all the good stuff takes place, man.
Dude.
All the conversations take place in the men's room, right?
Take it away, Bob. Why do you hate this guy?
So we talk about Christmas Day, and we've kind of decided we're not really in favor of playing every year on Christmas Day, right?
I think we made that evidently obvious.
I think we made that perfectly clear. Like, 1 was fine, 2 okay, because you're promoting a new network now, wanting to be on Christmas Day every year. You know, I don't think Chiefs fans really want that, quite honestly. But now I want it because Mike Florio doesn't. And I want to stick it to Mike Florio. And it's not the fact that he doesn't want the Chiefs. It's what he says about the Kansas City Chiefs, which actually makes sense, but it doesn't hold weight to where the NFL has been doing things for years. And I'll explain that in a moment. Quote, Mike Florio. The Chiefs won't permanently be competitive and relevant. They won't have Patrick Mahomes forever, wrote Florio. They won't have Taylor Swift indefinitely. It's far better to have flexibility in the event that the Chiefs become not a great team at some point down the line. That's what Mike Florio is saying about the Chiefs being a participant on Christmas Day, when every year on Thanksgiving we're subjected to the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions. Now, you may say, oh, the Lions are good. The Lions have not been good for 50 years prior to now, 60 years prior to now. The Dallas Cowboys haven't been relevant since Blues Traveler was putting out hits. The last time they won and played in a conference championship was 1996, long before Mac was even on planet Earth. So if Mike Florio... Well, what year were you born?
98.
Okay, yeah, it's two years.
Okay.
I mean, that's a long time, man. That's 700 days before you were born. Your parents weren't even thinking about you at that point in time, right?
True.
And so that's the last time the Dallas Cowboys did anything relevant. They did. Yeah, they definitely were thinking about you.
Yeah, exactly. A lot to worry about.
Yeah, a lot going on. But that, put it in perspective. You were not alive the last time the Dallas Cowboys were a relevant football team. And you've been subjected to them on Thanksgiving Day
whole life
for your entire life, which we all have, and we're all tired of it. But yet we continue to roll out the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day because they use the word tradition. Oh, it's always been tradition. Okay, great, fine. Then if you want to start a new tradition and make it the Chiefs, you can't come back and say they're not going to be relevant forever because the Dallas Cowboys haven't been relevant in 30 years, and the Detroit Lions weren't relevant for 40, 50, 60 years prior to Dan Campbell arriving and then being relevant for the last 2 years. And so if you want to play the relevancy game, you're playing it wrong because the other major holiday that we have during the football season has 2 of the most irrelevant franchises when it comes to actually doing something, playing on Thanksgiving Day. So he can take that logic and shove it up his ass.
I completely agree with you when it comes to the Detroit Lions aspect of it. The devil's advocate for the Cowboys would be that they're a brand.
So are the Chiefs.
Well, that would be my next question. Does that brand of the Chiefs stay after Mahomes, Kelsey, and Swift? And I'm asking because the Cowboys brand, it's
I think
for whatever reason it's staying.
Yeah, I see because Jerry Jones is a master marketer.
There it is.
And he is a charlatan.
Barnaby.
He's Barnum and Bailey, sir.
Yeah,
he's
Barnum
P.T. Barnum is who he is. He is P.T. Barnum of the NFL, and he's done a great job of that. Ooh, we gave a guy the number 0. You would have thought the Dallas Cowboys went out and built a new stadium in Plano, and they're going to play home games in Kansas City. And the conversation that took place because they gave some guy the number 0, which represents the amount of Super Bowls they have since 1996. You would have thought that was something spectacular. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys gave a guy 0. Okay, everybody's talking about that, right? Because he does a great job at marketing. He does. I'll give Jerry Jones that. He's brilliant at that. He sucks at football. And when I sit down on Thanksgiving, I know I'm going to be subject to the Dallas Browns or the St. Louis Bengals and have to watch some crap game being taken place down there in Big D And then you watch Detroit, and for 40 years it sucked. 50 years it sucked. It was awful football. But you like the Honolulu Blues. You're like, okay, fine. There's a turducken there, and Madden's going, hey, boom. And so you watched. But now, you're talking about the Chiefs, and I think they are laying the groundwork. I think Mark Donovan and Clark Hunt are doing a hell of a job when they use the term, we want to be the world's team. They know that Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be here forever. That's why they want to get the new stadium built, get a dome on this thing, get Super Bowls here, get people in the stadium while Patrick Mahomes is still around. He's 30 this year, guys.
Jeez, so old.
Patrick Mahomes is 30 already. That happened like a blink of an eye, right?
Thanks, Coach. He's not 30 till September.
Whatever. But this football season, he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
They know the end is coming. It is for everybody, right? It happens in sports. But meanwhile, while people are tweeting out pictures of all these private jets lined up at Augusta, that's the downtown airport on Sundays when the Chiefs play here. So they understand that it's going to be reaching its end. That's why the Chiefs continue to go out there and get marketing rights in other countries. They continue to go out there and marketing their team. They're doing it better than everybody else because they're getting ahead of it. They are following the Dallas Browns kind of playbook right now. If you look at it, what they're doing today and marketing themselves all over the world is setting themselves up for when Patrick Mahomes leaves. Because I believe anyway, and I know this isn't for everybody, but you're a fan of a team, you're a fan of a team, right? And so if you can get people in now while Patrick Mahomes is doing his thing, you make them fans of this team, they're going to be fans for life. And I speak for people that I know that live in Europe, that I've had dinner with in Europe, that are Chiefs fans because of Mahomes, but now they're in. They're in now. They're like, I love this. This is great. This is so awesome.
Must be nice.
So the Chiefs are doing some great things right now by marketing themselves and selling themselves worldwide, creating this brand now that they have Patrick Mahomes, that when Patrick does leave, they still have this magnificent brand. And they are the number one team in the NFL. Nobody watches more teams play football than the Chiefs. More people watch the Chiefs than anybody else. That is a fact. They bring in the highest television numbers. They are America's team. They want to be the world's team. They get it. They're doing a great job of setting themselves up for when Patrick and Andy and Travis and all these guys are gone and the next wave comes in, they're still out there and they're still one of the preeminent teams out there. And if the Dallas Browns and Jerry Jones can do it, so can the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I resent Mike Florio for saying that. They're not always going to have Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift. You're right. And the Dallas Cowboys aren't always going to have Troy Aikman, but yet somehow they pop up on every Thanksgiving and are on my screen watching subpar quarterbacks and teams play every single Thanksgiving that I have to suffer through. So, yeah, there's going to be a downtime for the Chiefs, but they're still one of the best brands out there, and Florio can stick it.
How long ago was it you said the Cowboys is 96?
96.
Oh.
The last time we won a Super Bowl, I could still get hard without taking a pill. Nowadays, my dinger just looks like a wet biscuit.
Gross. Alex Gold's got a real big dinger.
So now I'm in favor of it, just to tick Florio off.
No, that's fine. I'm fair.
And again, I'm not, because I don't want to have that Christmas Day game every year. But if it's gonna make people mad, I'm for it.
Yeah,
boy, he did
take him off.
He did backpedal when he said the retirement thing though on Radio Row. We're like, remember when he said like Andy Reid?
Oh yeah.
First off, I hadn't said that he was going to.
You did,
but okay, and he did give the one phase like, well, first off, I'm like, easy, easy, bud. You wrote it. I'm just saying it. Sounds weird, like, doesn't it? Well, they normally have these things done before. Well, they didn't, but they,
Yep.
2 days later, if you could have just waited instead of having this egregious take.
Maybe Andy Reid said, let's talk after the season too, Mike.
Yeah.
Because that does happen. I know Vlad Guerrero's different. He actually negotiated a contract during a season, and we don't see that. I guarantee you Andy Reid said, I'm focused on winning a championship, Clark. Let's just talk next week when this is over. Okay.
I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Don't distract me.
Clark's not talking to Andy this week.
Well, and you never know, maybe Kelsey's washed. I thought we were going to get it.
You want? I mean, I can. I mean, it's fine. All right, take two.
I mean, Florio thinks that Andy Reid's going to retire. A lot of people thought that Travis Kelce should have retired after last year.
Yeah, I agree, Carrington. Travis Kelce's the worst tight end. You're right, Rob. He's so old, and he can't do anything right. You're right, Carrington. Travis Kelce is washed. Correct, Rob. Go to break.
All right, go to one word. Oh, by the way, breaking news. Time out. Breaking news in the NFL world. There's a quarterback landing in the AFC North.
Hey.
Yeah. Browns. Joe Flacco.
You got to be kidding.
I'm not. Go to Adam Schefter's Twitter. Oh, yeah. So
they're bringing Joe Flacco back.
Oh yeah, and
they
Deshaun
are.
Watson's going to prove everybody that he's back too.
Back what?
I don't know.
Because the quarterback thing is done for him.
Yeah, Flacco to the Browns. I want to break that news real quick.
Oh, that's fantastic.
40 plus. By the way, Mahomes is 30. Flacco's 40, and he's going to the Browns, who have the number 2 overall pick. Correct?
Hang on a second. Did you see this news by Alex Gold?
No.
In a last-minute effort this morning, the Kansas House is voting on a budget provision that could put sports betting at risk in the state.
What?
They adjourn later today for the remainder of the year. Get Alex on the phone.
I was going to say, we should call Alex. Let's do Alex. Yeah, you can call him, I guess. I don't know if he'll answer. He might still be putting his waffles together. He seems like an Eggo guy. Butter only. He eats Cheerios raw. So, again, read that again. Sorry. By the way, Cleveland gets Joe Flacco, but this is more important.
Yeah, this is more important. Sources, sports betting apps could go dark in Kansas. In a last-minute effort this morning, the Kansas House is voting on a budget provision that could put sports betting at risk in the state. They adjourn later today for the remainder of the year. A provision in the proposed state budget would no longer allow the Kansas Lottery to negotiate or renew deals with sports betting operators. Deals with apps such as FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM could expire. The House was one vote short of an override, but is likely to attempt a vote again today when the House gavels at 9 o'clock. The 2025 legislative session ends later on today.
That's interesting.
Well, it's stupid if we're doing. What are you
Can
doing?
you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you can.
Let's ask Alex.
Goldie, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Yeah, this is something I was kind of developing late last night, and so it's not a situation where it's as if tomorrow your sports betting is going to end or anything like that. But there's a chance that if a certain provision passes today, where Kansas is wrapping up their session for the year today, and in the budget there's a provision that would prevent the Kansas Lottery from negotiating or renewing deals that they already have in place with, let's say, a FanDuel or a BetMGM, DraftKings, et cetera, you name it. And so if that were to happen, you could have these deals expire, which would mean sports betting would go dark. So that's what's at stake here. The governor had already vetoed this line item, but the veto was overridden yesterday in the Senate. And then in the House, they tried to override it yesterday, and it failed by a vote. So the thought is today they're going to try to override it again. And so that's why I put it out there this morning. It's like it literally is one of those things that is kind of a last-minute thing that people should try to reach out if they want to keep sports betting around. Reach out to the representatives and let them know that this is something that they voted for, something that they want to make sure doesn't stop.
What's the reasoning for doing this? Like, why does Kansas feel the need to do something so obtuse and stupid? Well, I mean, it's Kansas, but yeah, whatever. Are we getting weed?
So a couple things. Basically, there are some politicians in Topeka that, from the very beginning, remember this thing barely passed, right? And even out of the legislature a couple of years ago. So there's some that are still kind of unhappy that it even exists. There's some that don't believe the state's getting enough revenue from sports betting. And there's also a belief that the state could run this as what they call a single source operator model. And not to get too nerdy with it, but there's a few states that do it. Essentially, the state would take it in-house and then contract out to somebody that would then operate one app throughout the entire state, which is, don't even get me started, could be a horrific idea.
Wait, so you would only have one app to utilize potentially in the state, there's competition. I mean that...
Correct. That's what in competition is usually what's best for everybody, right? But that is potentially what could be going on here as well. Like, if you're acting like, what's the end goal with this? If it actually were to prevent the Kansas Lottery from negotiating deals with these providers, that could be the end game, potentially, that the state believes that they could maybe run this in-house and do it better, which is laughable, obviously.
Well, and the state can't do anything better than a private entity in any state. That's just not the state. I mean, look at the political nature of our area right now. I can't even agree on where we're going to build a stadium for this. I mean, this is...
That's the other part, Bob, though. You mentioned the stadium. That's the other part. While you're trying to get the Chiefs and/or Royals to Kansas, you want to mess up potentially sports betting, which we know is something teams are very in favor of. It doesn't make any sense.
So, Alex, and real quickly, two things. What's the simplest way that you can explain what's happening?
Yeah.
For the average listener, I know that there was a lot of big words. I mean,
Sure.
I get it, but like in the simplest form, what is happening and what is trying to be developed here?
Sure. I would say that sports betting, the way you know it in the state of Kansas is at risk of changing. And you may not have the same options to bet in the future if something like this does get overridden today. That's as simple as that. It's not going to go dark tomorrow. It's not it's not going to end tomorrow. But any new deal that needs to be signed or renewed after June of this year potentially could be unable to be negotiated. So therefore, you wouldn't be able to have your FanDuels or DraftKings apps in the state.
Which apps are at stake for this? Like which ones are expiring?
So that was my question talking to some people last night. I was never able to get a clear answer on that. And so I was told that the deal, when this launched 2 years ago in Kansas, the maximum length of any of these deals were 5 years. The shortest could be 3. It'll be 3 years in September. So I've reached out to some other people trying to figure that exact thing out because I'm fascinated by that as well. Are these deals all ending in September? Are they ending in 2 years? Is it one app? Is it 5 apps? That I haven't been able to get clarity on.
Yeah, because, like FanDuel could have an expiration of tomorrow. BetMGM could have one of next year,
right.
That kind of stuff. ESPN Bet just kind of came in recently. They're kind of new, on the scene. When does their kind of license expire? Like, why has this been something that nobody's been kind of talking about? And why
I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. I was only made aware of this just, less than 24 hours ago. It was pretty late last night, actually. This is my understanding is, for those that don't know, like the state budget is trying to be passed right now and the session is wrapping up. And so there's so many different things. And basically this was an item that was vetoed by the governor, but there was apparently some assurance that this would not be tried. They would not try to override this by some in the Senate and the House. And yet that's exactly what they've tried to do. So I don't know why that, trying to sneak it through. Who knows? Politics, I guess, is the answer.
Yeah, no, it is. And so I guess I'm just, kind of confused. Has any other state done something this stupid?
Well, I don't know about, changing it after it's already been up and running, but I will say that when I reference the potential in-game worst case scenario with this is that the state tries to do a one operator model. Washington, D.C. Did this when it first launched, even though they were one of the first jurisdictions to launch. And they have since completely gone to the model that most states are doing. It was such a disaster when they had this one company that was trying to operate. Oregon, I think New Hampshire, Delaware, some of these other states, you look at the way they operate. Ask anybody, if you know anybody that lives there, it is not the best situation for if someone that just likes to hop on your phone and bet. It's a way different operation than what we are used to now in Kansas or what Missouri is going to launch eventually here in a couple months.
Alex, lastly, what does this mean for Missouri moving forward?
Yeah, I don't think it means, it doesn't impact their situation, although it could give them all of a sudden an advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same way we've talked about Kansas having the advantage for a couple of years. If, in fact, this goes through and it ends up being the end game that potentially could happen, then, yeah, Missouri would become the better place to wager.
Brother, we appreciate it. We know you got a show to do today for 4 hours. Thanks for hopping on with us, Alex Gold of Cody and Gold from 10 to 2. I'm sure you will have more of this probably in the 10 o'clock hour today.
Yep, thanks, guys.
You bet. Alex Gold there with your gambling update. So we could see some of them going dark. If you missed that, we will play some cuts from Alex later on in the show. But coming up on the other side.
I mean, just when you think people are stupid, they become dumber.
I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. We'll get to the out of left field question on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hey, there's only one thing better than Surfside and baseball, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonades plus vodka on the golf course or while you're watching golf on your television. That's right, 65 degrees today, baby. That makes me want to sit back, relax, have a nice, refreshing drink, and that's what Surfside can do for you. And there's no better drink to enjoy the golf course, the ballpark, the TV session on the patio that I know me and myself and Mac will all be enjoying today. It's light, it's refreshing, it's made with real vodka and real brewed tea. It's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and there are 0 bubbles, so you have 0 troubles. That's right. No carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway. Cheers to those boys in blue playing good baseball. And cheers to Surfside, the official canned cocktail. Must be 21 and older, and please drink responsibly.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. Time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
If you want your lawn green and healthy this year, start with the big yellow bag of Prevent. Formulated for the Midwest, Grass Pads Prevent feeds the lawn and keeps out ugly crabgrass. You simply spread it on the yard right before rain or water it in. Make sure that your lawn is ready for the year with Prevent and stop crabgrass and grassy weeds before they start.
Come on down to the grass pad. The grass pad's high on Brad.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
Wow. On Fridays, BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA, is making first field goal scorer wagers more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite baller to score the first field goal, only to see him dish the rock to his teammate for the easy layup? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first field goal scorer scores second instead. Simply bet on any player to score the first field goal during a Friday game. If you're right, you win. If your pick scores second instead, you get your stake back in cash. Keep the hoop dreams alive Fridays this NBA season. Grab the chance at getting your stake back at BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound, gets heavy at Warnell, stays very slow over past Holmes with an accident blocking 3 left lanes, now causing delays as well on the westbound side coming out of the Grandview Triangle. Things are heavy and building delays through the Grandview Triangle onto 470. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
We'll replay some stuff that Alex Gould had to say that kind of broke the day this morning with the possibility of a few gambling websites going dark. Can't ask for a better time to get breaking news than the 7 o'clock hour.
I mean, my goodness, right?
Hello. Somebody in the text line did chime in from the 816 about what Alex was talking about, how it could affect a few gambling sites like a DraftKings and a FanDuel, and then it would just be a one app sort of thing.
Yeah.
So from the 816, I moved from Kansas to Florida, and I can confirm that the one app model is ridiculous. They screw you on odds. Same parlay in Kansas plus 1,600. Same parlay in Florida plus 550.
Yeah, that is a total screw job. But that's what you get when you don't allow competition. Let's put it to you in a simple term. What if only one company was allowed to sell gasoline in the state? What do you think their prices would be, right? Huge, through the roof, right? You eliminate competition, you screw the consumer. It's not that hard to figure that out. That is simple math. Mm-hmm. You bring in another gas station, now all of a sudden that guy's 10 cents lower. What's the other guy going to do? He's going to lower his prices so he can get in there and have the customers come on board. And so if you're the state, having competition is great for the consumer, but for the state to have the one app and to do it themselves, it's better for them. And they're going to do what they feel is better for them and not what's better for the consumer. See, we've lost that over the years, right? We're supposed to do what's I took and I know people laugh at this. We had to take a class at the school that I went to called journalism ethics, right? And you laugh, ha, ha, ha. But one of the things that I took away from that class some 30 years ago now is you've got to do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. And we have forgotten that in this country. We've got to do what the greatest good is for the greatest number of people. And the greatest good is to have competition. And it's to not try to have one app in the state that's going to govern what the odds are and gambling and all that kind of stuff. People aren't going to go for that. Nobody wants that. And so Kansas, by even considering this, is making a major mistake. It's just so ridiculous, and it continues to show that why that state is set in the 1950s and why people are moving out of the state instead of into the state. And Laura Kelly said that, by the way, years ago. We got to make Kansas cool for young people. Well, if they get rid of the gambling and they don't have weed, you ain't making Kansas cool for the young people.
Yeah. Sucks. Terrible. It's the Walmart effect. They come in and they run everybody out of town, and then you have nowhere else to go but one place, and they know it, and you know it.
And I watched that happen to Seguin, Texas, and it sucked, man.
We'll light it up a little bit as we'll get into the out-of-left field question here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. I brought this up because I think gambling for some, because somebody was like, keep crying about it, gambling addicts. I think some people have a guilty pleasure when it comes to gambling. Like, that makes the game better. It doesn't make you an addict. It makes you be like, oh, you know what? I live in Kansas. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the eighth. I'm going to take the Royals on the money line.
Throw $5 on a game and see how much different your body feels when you're watching a game.
Oh, it's crazy.
You get the adrenaline rush and all this kind of stuff.
Or $10 on Bryson DeChambeau and see how much you get involved with the Masters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So 913-586-7965. Bob, Mac, whoever else wants to chime in. What would you say your biggest guilty pleasure is?
Chocolate and peanut butter.
Really?
It's that easy.
So that Nutty Buddy cream pie was a bad thing to do?
God, yes. I can't buy it, because I just eat it all. So, yes, chocolate and peanut butter.
You got any more than Nutty Buddy cream pies?
Yeah.
Mac, you got a guilty pleasure? Is it cuties? Cougars?
I think it's Cougars for Mac,
probably
right?
Cougars for me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. Basic stuff.
Music-wise, for me, it's like the 1975. Like, I am way too old to be listening to that music. And some people will say you're never too old for music. Well, I'm in love with you, 37-year-old dude from the suburbs. Listen to, that music. That's probably a big guilty pleasure for me.
And video games for me, that's probably one.
Yeah.
Still playing NCAA,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
But I mean, you're from that generation that kind of like made that okay. Yeah. Like my generation, like once you got into high school, it's like, once you got out of high school, it's like, really, dude? And then it's like, well, we go to college and we play for money. It's like, well, yeah. And then there were those guys like, yeah, I go to my room, I got a game sesh, got to put the headset on the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Do your thing, though. Whatever.
It's gotten so bad, though, like Major League Baseball players, they don't even hang out with each other anymore. They're in their rooms playing video games. That sucks.
That sucks.
The cool guys are in the back of the plane, though. That's where you want to go.
Yeah, you do want to go back there. But, like most of these guys now, they used to hang out and, do whatever and have fun with each other and whatnot. Now they just go to their rooms and they play video games. Seems lame to me.
Yeah, what did we hear? One of the biggest, acquired things for the Super Bowl, like the Chiefs were bringing down their PS5s.
Yeah, they have a little game suitcase. You just open it up, boom, TV.
It's a new world. Yeah, music-wise, 1975, definitely up there. Food-wise, guilty pleasure, bread. Dude, I'm just a bread lord.
Yes. It's so bad, but it's so
it's
good.
terrible. I had an entire bread bowl the other night from Panera. That's all I got was a broccoli cheese bread bowl. I don't want to look at the caloric intake I had.
Smash.
But gone.
Or the salt intake, for that matter.
Yeah. I mean, I had a protein shake for lunch, so it was good. But for dinner, I went a little heavy. Probably a lot of butter in there.
Did you eat the bread bowl, too?
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. The top, the little,
top,
little top, everything, dude. I'm just sitting there looking like a rabbit, dude, with a carrot, but with like a bread bowl. Like, it's edible. Doesn't mean you have to eat it.
Like the taco salad when they serve it in the big taco shell?
I'll eat that entire
How do you
thing.
not eat that thing, right?
Especially when it's like a sog pit on the bottom where they stuck it to the beans to glue to the plate. Dear Lord. 0 bars that were chilled in the fridge from the 816. Blueberry donut holes from Quick Trip. That's a dangerous one.
Absolutely.
Blueberry donut holes. Are good,
Anything from Quick Trip's a guilty pleasure.
yes.
Just walk in there, buy your beverage, and walk out. Just keep your vision straight. Don't go to the rollers, and now they have a pancake sausage breakfast roller. Don't do it.
does look
You
good.
want to. Oh, man. Music-wise, say anything less than Jake or my guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's a good one. Newfound glory at the age of 37. My friend's over you. I'm like, okay, I don't need to listen to this at this age. Peanut butter and chocolate's a good one, though. God. Chocolate and caramel, that's another one. Probably shouldn't eat that. Caramel shouldn't be that liquefied. I don't even know if that's real caramel.
It is.
It's just so thin.
This guy says, independent contractor here, taking a random weekday off and sending the boys a picture of me golfing at lunchtime.
That's a guilty pleasure?
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure.
That's also a Richard move.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You got your crew out there working and you're playing golf. Yeah. Next time they want a day off and you say no, kiss my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew Nixon took the day off yesterday. Definitely played golf.
Oh, I'm sure.
2-hour
Watched
show,
a lot
though.
of it, too.
You know,
yeah,
whatever.
I get it. Yeah, take your day, bro.
My guilty pleasure is horrible 80s slasher movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, movie-wise. Any crime documentary would be a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's recommended for me or for you. I'll watch it. Cinnamon roll donut from Casey's. My God, it's good.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Casey's Pizza, too, another one. The taco pizza.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Since you guys
did
introduced
he
that
introduce
to me.
that to you?
Yes.
That was the first time you had it?
Yes. Had it many more times since.
Yeah. Specifically Peter Pan honey peanut butter.
Oh, my.
34-year-old Spice Girls, early Taylor Swift. I was a Swiftie before being a Swiftie was cool. Nice. Colby Calais from a 37-year-old man. Guilty pleasure. Be careful. Nickelback and Creed are guilty pleasures.
Nice.
Nickelback, Steve Inspector's favorite band of all time.
Is it really?
I wouldn't make that up.
Yeah, and he saw them live. Yes, he told me about this.
What do you think Jay Binkley's guilty pleasure is?
Dip.
Yeah.
Hot cheese.
I don't think he's
and
guilty.
light beer.
I don't think he feels guilty about dips, though, man. Like, there's still some on this microphone from last night. I
Dip,
can smell
hot
it.
cheese, and light beer. Binkley would be a good Wisconsinite.
Somebody keeps asking me, why is it so thick? I don't know what that means.
I think you just said that. I think I need to go back and
Five
peruse.
Guys Cajun fries. Man, Backyard Burger was a guilty pleasure back in the day. Boy, was that a banger.
So good. What happened?
I don't know.
They went out of business.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I mean, it's pretty simple. They weren't good. They went out of
He
business.
was so upset. He's just like, I don't understand what he doesn't understand.
I don't understand why that place went out of business. When was the last time you were there? About 10 years. Well, that's why. I mean, nobody's going there.
Going.
Guilty pleasure, Paige Sporanic.
Don't gotta be guilty about that, brother.
From the 913, Bob Fescoe is my guilty pleasure. Signed Paradise.
There you go. There you go, Nick. Love you, brother. Guilty pleasure for me back in the day was watching the OJ trial. Today marks a year that guy's been dead.
Wow. Damn.
I thought it was longer.
Really?
I mean, he's been dead to me since 96.
Well, now I remember because last year at this time, Jen and I went away for our anniversary. Shout out to my wife, 17 years tomorrow. Very lucky woman to have me. And so I remember being away and Josh getting so excited that OJ was dead because he could play all the not Kevin Nealon. We talked about him yesterday. Norm Macdonald stuff with OJ.
Yes.
OJ Simpson. Murder. Yeah, says, a year OJ's been dead.
Somebody says guilty pleasure is chipping myself to death before my food comes out at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, that is too.
Yeah, you just can't stop eating 19 tortilla shells.
I'll tell you what, though. I told you that story. Like, we were on vacation. We went to a place and free chip and salsa. But if you wanted a refill, they charge you for it. $1.99 for another basket of chips. $4.99 if you wanted more salsa and chips. Now, it was a salsa trio, a very nice trio. But I'll tell you what. You don't need as many chips when you got to pay for the second round. And you realize, I don't need as many chips. Because, for every 4 chips you eat, it's one whole tortilla.
Don't say that.
Mm-hmm. There's a picture on the internet where they put 4 chips together, and it is a
tortilla, because that's all they do. Zoom, zoom, doom,
yeah, of course.
Done,
Last one of the day, because it fits perfect for everything. My guilty pleasure from the 785 is smoking a joint in Missouri as a Kansas resident. Take the day. Coming up on the other side, Chiefs draft position odds. Mac has a way for you to make money at plus 2,500. Well,
not
maybe.
in Kansas.
96.5 The Fan, you're over Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have done an amazing job on our lawn. It's been 2 weeks now since they first came out, and they did another cut yesterday, I guess it was yesterday or the day before, and it looks unbelievably awesome. I drove up to the house the other day. I'm like, this isn't our house, is it? The lawn looks so good. I can't believe how Aspen Lawn and Pest Control has already started to make our lawn look awesome, and it's something that I tried to do for over a decade, and I just gave up. I said, I'm not doing it anymore. I can't figure this thing out. I'm going to trust the college-educated professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They've been providing award-winning services since 1985. So I said, here's your biggest challenge ever. Make my lawn look good. And they have so far. It's been outstanding. They offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control, and I'm excited about that as well. Keeping those mosquitoes out of my yard this summer is going to be awesome. Keeping the ticks and the fleas off the dog is going to be even better. Right now, mention you heard this ad, and you'll get that free estimate and up to half off your first application when you call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. So you want to expect the best. Don't wait. Call today, or better yet, just visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, a.k.a. only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at Shanco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Swing into the biggest golf event of the year with FanDuel, where every putt and drive can bring you closer to victory. Because right now, all customers can get a profit boost every round of the first major. Boost your winnings on anything from outright winners to round leaders to tourney matchups and so much more. A bet that I'm looking to boost is Russell Henley, a top 20 finish at plus 110 and a top 10 finish at plus 290. FanDuel is your go-to for betting on Augusta. Tee off with a variety of bet types and live bet as the tournament drama unfolds. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download America's #1 sportsbook and swing for some green at Augusta. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kfsgamblinghelp.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Down almost 30 pounds. Fast, right? Look, the best part is that the weight will stay gone because Awaken 180 isn't a Band-Aid. It's the solution for weight loss. Do what I'm doing, lose the weight, and receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Missouri side, 435 eastbound. Gets heavy crossing the state line. Stays very slow over past Holmes. Accident over 104th Street. Blocks 3 left lanes. Overturned semi there. Now uprighted, so maybe in the clearing stages. You've also got onlooker interest on the other side. That's built back into and through the Grandview Triangle. Now onto 470 westbound. Money back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products. You are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quattrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Just a quick reminder for you all, the Fan Strap Party is less than a week away. It is Thursday, April 24th at the Landing. I guess less than 2 weeks away. I apologize. Less than 2 weeks away. Thursday, April 24th at the Landing in Liberty, starting at 6 p.m. Bink and Unicero will be broadcasting live during the first round. The draft contest is back. Your chance at winning $965 plus an autographed Juwan Taylor helmet as the prize. 1 point for player drafted in first round. 3 points if you get right player on the right team. Sheet must be turned in prior to the number one pick on the clock. The fan staff will be in attendance as well. As we get back to it, the breaking news of the day involving the state of Kansas and sports betting apps could go dark, according to Alex Gold from sources. In the last-minute effort this morning, this was about just almost an hour ago.
Yep, about 7:20 this morning.
Yeah, he says in a last-minute effort this morning, the Kansas House is voting on a budget provision that could put sports betting at risk in the state. They adjourn later today for the remainder of the year. A provision in the proposed state budget would no longer allow the Kansas Lottery to negotiate or renew deals with sports betting operators. Deals with apps such as FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, etc. could expire. The House was one vote short of an override, but it is likely to attempt a vote later again today when the House gavels in at 9 a.m. The 2025 legislative sessions later today. He also says you can reach out to your local representatives here. It's all on his Twitter. It's all there for you. He has numbers, emails, all that sort of stuff if you want to contact him and try to get this thing nipped out of what they're trying to do, which means they lost the vote to override it by 1. They're going to re-adjourn today at 9 o'clock and vote again. They think they can probably persuade it to pass this law. The governor did veto this.
But if you vote for something and it fails, why do you get a revote? When did that start happening? I mean, and I guess I don't understand the political game, but it seems like you voted on this yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Are you waking up this morning and having a change your mind, somebody greasing your palm? Because that's what's going to happen. That's how votes change, right? Somebody's greasing your palm on something, right? I mean, you don't go to bed and say, yeah, I voted this way. And then I woke up this morning and let's revote and change something. Somebody got to somebody, right?
Yeah.
And then Alex is saying this morning, about 10 minutes ago, he says, I've confirmed a vote on this is scheduled to take place at 9 o'clock when the House gavels in. So we're under an hour away from seeing how this thing is going to develop and how this thing is going to kind of move forward. And, 9 o'clock comes, 9 o'clock goes. Hopefully they don't vote on this again and they just move on, because it's not good for the consumer. It's not good for the resident in the state of Kansas. And I will say this, if you're opposed to sports gambling, then don't sports gamble. But don't prevent other people who are not opposed to it, who like to do it, don't prevent them from doing it. And I think what we're looking at right now is people trying to dictate laws for others. Again, if you don't like smoking cigarettes, don't smoke cigarettes. But if people want to sell them and people want to smoke a cigarette and we want to make tax dollars off it, you let them do that. Same with booze, same with weed, same with gambling. It's all part of the sin tax that I call it that is out there. And if people want to do certain things, you allow them to do those certain things. And if you don't want to do that, feel free to abstain. That's okay. But don't make other people's lives miserable because you don't want gambling in the state. I don't think people should determine what others can do.
This was Alex who joined us just a few minutes ago here on the show about what he had to say, what was going on betting in jeopardy in Kansas.
I would say that sports betting, the way you know it in the state of Kansas, is at risk of changing. And you may not have the same options to bet in the future if something like this does get overridden today. That's as simple as that. It's not going to go dark tomorrow. It's not going to end tomorrow. But any new deal that needs to be signed or renewed after June of this year potentially could be unable to be negotiated. So therefore, you wouldn't be able to have your FanDuels or DraftKings apps in the state.
Which apps are at stake for this? Like which ones are expiring?
So that was my question talking to some people last night. I was never able to get a clear answer on that. And so I was told that the deal, when this launched 2 years ago in Kansas, the maximum length of any of these deals were 5 years. The shortest could be 3. It'll be 3 years in September. So I've reached out to some other people trying to figure that exact thing out because I'm fascinated by that as well. Are these deals all ending in September? Are they ending in 2 years? Is it one app? Is it 5 apps? That I haven't been able to get clarity on.
So that there is Alex Gold. He'll have more at 10 a.m. here on 96.5 The Fan when Cody Gold and Drew take over on their time of the show. But that was him joining us today about the sports game.
Let's say let's say they do whatever they want to do to mess things up, right? Okay, let's just say, yeah, or whatever, however it be. There's some people that think Laura Kelly's going to veto it, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue anyway. Again, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, that is the case, and the governor steps up and goes, "We're not doing this. Move on." Okay, Western Kansas, move on. And so what I think, and what I want to know is if it does fail and they get rid of the whatever. What if you've already made a future bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl?
They would probably just send you a deposit.
Will they just refund? Do they refund your money,
they have to? They can't just keep it.
But what I'm asking is, can they keep your bet and still pay you out on that bet? Or if the app goes dark in September, does that erase any future bets that people may have played?
Yeah, it erases because I would assume, and I think if Alex will probably know more than I do, obviously, but I think that the app is going to shut down. You'll be refunded whatever you have in your account or whatever you have outstanding out there. They would
just give you the money back.
Mm-hmm. Well, they'd have to. I mean, other than that, there'd be a million lawsuits.
Right.
Like it'd be like, yeah, you have my money. I want it back. It's like, well, it was a future bet and we went dark. It's like, yeah, it's an outlier situation. So I think they would 100% give you that back.
Yeah, I think they would have to. But I was just wondering, would you want them to keep your bet though? I mean, like you made this bet with FanDuel. It's no longer in existence in the state of Kansas, but it's in existence like Missouri, let's just say, or Oklahoma or Nebraska or someplace that's surrounding the state.
I guess that's also a possibility because the state, it's illegal in the state. Like, I mean, you could have, it's like back in the day.
You come to Kansas and make bets and then retreat to Missouri, or people go buy weed in Missouri and come over to get, like, we do this all the time.
It's also like if you were to fly to Vegas, right? And like back in the day and make like a futures
and you
bet
got your
there,
ticket.
You just have to either
you got to fly back to Vegas and cash in. If it's worth
so
time, you know?
So I think that'd be the case. But I mean, obviously, like I can still open, like for instance, in Missouri, let's say I place a bet today on the Royals game and it wins. I can withdraw that money even in the state of Missouri. I just can't deposit money in the state of Missouri.
Oh, you can withdraw in Missouri.
I can withdraw in
too.
Missouri.
Okay.
Oh, boy, can I withdraw in Missouri.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Okay, I didn't realize that because some people have said you have to be in the state where you made that bet at time. But maybe some states are like that, though, too. You know, like every state's
some
different.
States definitely are like that.
Yeah,
Tennessee is like that.
Tennessee is like that. If you made the bet in Tennessee, you have to withdraw it in Tennessee.
Yeah, so, no, like, I've done it multiple times where, like, I bet on a guy to have a triple-double and it hits at, like, 9:30 and I'm like, withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's nice.
or something like that. And that is. And it's like,
That's good.
it literally takes like 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not.
like your withdrawal request has been sent. Your withdrawal request has been approved. And then it's like 35 seconds later, it's like, your withdrawal has been placed. And I'm like, all right. And then I'll go to my account, check it, and it'll say like DraftKings, whatever. So, I mean, tough day, man. Because, I mean, it's just weird to have something and then out of nowhere. And I thought the text line made a good point about this. because they said something on there like, it's funny how nobody knew about this. And then in the morning, what comes out is like, oh, yeah, and then you didn't have time to reach out to your legislators and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
see, that's sneaky,
It's
man.
like a Friday clock sports news drop at 6.
I'd like to see what the other side drops after the legislative session ends in the state of Kansas too. Oh, you can't do anything about that anymore. We're passing weed. Like something like that. Like there's got to be some sort of reciprocal approach that the other side can do to get over on this side. Like it's just such petty stuff that is going on right now. Like we legitimately, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, probably have bigger fish to fry than worrying about sports gambling in the state of Kansas.
The Masters.
We got other things to worry about. But now this has become on the forefront because you know what it does? It gets attention. These ego-driven legislatures get their name out there. People think they're doing good for their community. They're not. They're not doing good for the community by attempting to get rid of the sports gambling in the state of Kansas. It's something that people enjoy. It is something that has helped out businesses over the last couple of years in the state of Kansas, where people on the Missouri side would drive over, settle in at a Kansas bar, watch games all day, and make bets, meanwhile spending money in those establishments to keep those establishments running, spending tax dollars, which in turn helps our schools and our roads and all that stuff that, our public services, and they want to get rid of something like that? That's just dumb. Watch all the cars that are lined up on what is it called over there on 435, Woodland Road or whatever it is, the first exit south of Missouri,
go to
Donahoe Road or the Quick Trip on Road, whatever
That's
that is. You should see all the people that come over and are spending money because you can't do that in Missouri. You want to give up on that? That just doesn't make any sense. It's free money for the state. It's free money. You don't have to do anything for it except just collect a check at the end of the day. And they want to mess that up. Common sense isn't common.
Somebody on the text line speaking to Bob Fescoe. I don't gamble at all. I've never even been to a casino, and I'm 40. I'm pissed that it could go away because I know what it could bring to the state.
Yeah.
Tough day. Hope he doesn't do it.
I hope Laura Kelly's going to veto it. I guarantee it. I got confidence they're going to do their thing. She goes, we're not doing that today. Go back to, McPherson.
We'll dive back into the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians as that series is tonight. That's something that they cannot take away from you, and we will give you why Vern and I both agree that it needs to happen now, and it needs to happen quickly, and it's not anything about a win or a loss. It's about revenge. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, that perfect weekend activity is staring you right in the face. It's called foaling. That is right. You're going to love it. And you're thinking to yourself, well, who's going to like foaling? The answer is everybody. Kids, adults, date night, guys' night out, having a birthday party for somebody, having an office activity. You can do it all at Foaling. Foaling is football plus bowling plus bar, and that's Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City, KC's funkiest sports entertainment venue. It's located off 435 and State Line. Foaling Warehouse KC is a mashup of football and bowling, drinks, and fun. And we all know what Foaling's about. You set up those bowling pins, you throw the football at them, you knock them down, and boom, you win, and everybody has a great time. And on Monday nights, they even do Jeopardy Bar League right now. The only place in KC that has Jeopardy Bar League with prizes for first and second place. So grab your team of 6 and show up at Foaling on Monday night and play Jeopardy Bar League. It's put on by the Geeks Who Drink, and they have a Jeopardy contestant, Pat Kerr. He's a bartender at Foaling. He won on Jeopardy. He'll be there as well. So Foaling's got all kinds of great stuff going on. They have an unbelievable bar. They got a great beer selection, and you can cater your own food. Have it delivered to Foaling or just bring it in when you arrive. Reserve a lane at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com. Get your Foal on.
Blink 182, Missionary Impossible, the 2025 tour, live in Kansas City. Playing at T-Mobile Center, Saturday, September 27th. With special guests, Alkaline Trio. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Blink 182, Missionary Impossible. For more, visit Blink182.com.
When I started watching my favorite team as almost Andy Reid, I couldn't get out of the parking lot due to my new popularity. Renner Garage Door has an offer that's just as popular. $100 maintenance check to keep your door running smooth. Get a free replacement quote. Renner carries top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Family owned since 1956. Call or visit RennerDoor.com. Renner forward and back.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Men, here's the truth. In the bedroom, good enough isn't really good enough, is it? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if your erectile dysfunction is making intimacy less enjoyable for you and your partner, give us a call today. Because whether your ED only happens sometimes or all the time, it's time to stop good enough and time to start really good. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. Whether it's only mild or moderate, or even if it's severe, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we have a variety of treatments and can even combine protocols, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in a long time. You could even last up to an hour or more and make sex great again for you and your partner. So make an appointment and be done with good enough. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneaker peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, Kansas. Looks like we're in for another heat wave this season with a forecasted high of up to $300,000. That's right. The Kansas Lottery is bringing the heat with the Hot Sevens family of tickets rolling across our state. You could instantly win up to $300,000. Plus, there's even a chance at up to $20,000 in the second chance drawing through Play On. Talk about a scorcher. Don't forget your oven mitts when you head out today. See kslottery.com for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound, still heavy from Warnell over towards 104th Street with an overturned accident blocking 3 left lanes. Onlooker interest on the other side, a bit of a factor as you make your way into the Grandview Triangle. Picks up and moves a little better, though, once you get onto 435. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Then he bombed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em.
When to hold 'em.
Know when to fold 'em.
When to fold 'em.
Know when to walk away. And know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting
Waylon Jennings, baby.
There'll be time enough to count.
So to get some more clarity on what Alex Gold was bringing up about Kansas trying to get rid of sports gambling in certain areas, he reached out to us, says governor already vetoed it, This is the veto session. Senate overrode her veto. House is trying to do the same.
It just makes no sense to me. We voted, it passed. The governor vetoed it, it's over. Oh, no, we're going to vote again. No. We're already here. We've done this already. It doesn't make sense to me. I just can't stand people who think that they can make laws in a state for other people to do things that they want to do. Like, I just don't understand why anybody would be opposed to what's going on with sports gambling. It's been pretty good for the state of Kansas, right? I mean, they've generated money. They've gotten people to come over to the state and spend money at their bars and restaurants and businesses, and it's been good. Like, why would you even consider messing with it? Like it should be something you're not even thinking about. Worry about education. Worry about the roads. Worry about health care. Worry about things that matter to the masses. You're focusing on sports gambling because you know people will talk about it. And for the most part, these legislators are irrelevant. And so they throw stuff out like this because it's a buzzword and it affects a lot of people. People will mention their name. They'll talk about it. They'll be in the news and all this kind of stuff, and they'll gain attention. It's awful. It's just disgusting.
People want to let you know that that's Kenny Rogers.
Okay, so gambling.
I do love that song.
Great gambling. Imagine today waking up and being excited that Joe Flacco's back on your team. I'm going through the X, formerly Twitter. People in Cleveland are celebrating. They got Joe Flacco. Imagine that feeling for a minute. Like, I know we didn't win the Super Bowl this year, but imagine waking up in Cleveland, Ohio. First of all, that would suck. Second of all, waking up and being excited that Joe Flacco is back at quarterback. Who did they have at quarterback before? Kenny Pickett? Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco. And
Sanders
should be, I guess. I mean, is that
well?
Are they drafting?
He didn't give them a 10 out of 10 visit like he did Pittsburgh.
He didn't.
I don't know.
Oh.
I just know that he gave Pittsburgh a 10.
Is that what they're saying?
Well, he was
Oh,
on.
he said
yeah,
that's right. He said
was
it,
on
yeah.
Up and Adams, and she was like, "How was your visit in Pittsburgh? A 10."
Yeah, all right.
He's already
Okay,
got it
10.
down, man. He knows how to do it. He knows how to work a media room.
All of a sudden, it feels like
guarantee it.
Pittsburgh. That's going to happen, right? Like that's just, there's too much smoke there for me. I think anyway. I don't
And
know.
Rodgers and Sanders
and-
together, or just Sanders?
Oof. Gosh,
Rodgers and Shador Sanders in the same.
I would buy a
gratis.
popcorn
Whoa.
machine for
Yeah,
that.
seriously.
I'd move to Pittsburgh and just
Yes.
watch that thing.
And then you get Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco.
That'd be nuts.
I
dude.
mean, that would. I mean, but seriously, like if the Browns are signing Joe Flacco, does that tell you they're not going to take a quarterback, or, are they signing Joe Flacco to be that veteran leader for Shador Sanders?
Well, now, Abdul Carter's got a foot issue that's going to hurt his draft
Oh, they've been
stock.
saying that for a while,
it's been
though.
the thing,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. He's got a foot issue, and
the only risk.
Shador pats the ball.
I mean, I can't gamble in Kansas maybe in the future, but I would go ahead and gamble that if Abdul Carter is there at 2, he is still going to the Cleveland Browns.
Right now, Travis Hunter favored to go number 2, which is nuts. Because I agree with you. I think no brainer. Abdul Carter.
But doesn't this change things though with Joe Flacco being signed by the Browns?
I don't really know what it changes.
I think what it changes is we're now drafting Shador Sanders at number 2. We've got this veteran leader, this guy who's been around for 35 years in the NFL to shepherd him in for the first year, the Alex Smith, if you will, for Shador Sanders. I think that's why you signed Joe Flacco, because now you're going to draft Shador Sanders, and now he has a mentor. And Joe Flacco as a mentor would be great.
That's what I was going to ask you. You like him as a mentor?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I mean, look, this guy's seen it all, right? He's won a Super Bowl. He's played on bad teams. He's played on good teams. He's beaten Tom Brady in the playoffs. He's beaten, he's had big time wins. He's had a long, very good career in the NFL. He's kind of like Alex Smith, right? Like nobody was thrilled that Alex Smith was coming here, but he's a nice veteran quarterback. And now I think you've got your mentor. You're setting, at least that's the way I'm interpreting it. Why else would you sign Joe Flacco at this point in time unless you were going to set him up to be that mentor to Shador Sanders?
I know nobody knows the answer to this question, but do you think Joe Flacco was mentoring Anthony Richardson last year?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Would you say similar play styles, Anthony Richardson and Shador Sanders?
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Richardson doesn't have as much shown that Shador Sanders has. Shador's played a lot more football games in college, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But,
both can move, both athletic.
Both can move, very athletic, kind of, loud and flashy, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, just tired, so I went off the field. Then got benched for Joe Flacco.
Right.
And then got to start again. So I wonder if, maybe there was something there that, they saw with
Maybe.
Flacco,
Could
trying
see
to
it.
be that. Because that's the narrative you take, that he's going to be the mentor. You would think that there was something that was shown from Anthony Richardson and his relationship in Indianapolis last year.
Yeah, I could see that. To me, this is just like, hey, let's give a win to our fans. They loved Joe Flacco. This is a guy who they can root for.
Because you have 3 quarterbacks on your roster.
Kenny Pickett, Flacco, and
Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
yeah, he's not really on the roster.
Forgot about him. Damn it.
No,
You're
he
paying
is,
him.
He is there.
He's there.
That's 3 quarterbacks. So you're drafting another one, and you're what?
But he's out for the year already, right? Because of that Achilles injury,
I was going to say, so he won't technically be on the active roster.
Right.
You just have to pay him.
You just have to pay. He's on the payroll. He's not on the roster. Yeah. So I think I do. I think this is the perfect setup now to draft Shedeur Sanders, because you mentioned giving the fans a guy that they like in Joe Flacco. They do, right? Joe's going to be our starter. We're going to draft Shedeur Sanders. You're going to sit a year, okay? You're going to sit a year behind Joe Flacco. Look at the way it worked in Kansas City, right?
You're going to sit behind Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah. Either way, however you want to,
Right.
develop. But you're not playing this year. You're going to come in. You're going to be a guy that's going to learn from Joe Flacco, a veteran guy, a Super Bowl winner, a guy who's been very successful in this league. He's going to be your mentor in all of this. Fans will be excited because we have Joe Flacco. Give us an opportunity to win. So we got our quarterback for today, but we also went out and drafted our quarterback of the future. Like that's the mindset that I'm using right now.
I don't hate it.
That's how I'm thinking Cleveland's doing things. Because if you sign Joe Flacco, you still haven't solved your long-term quarterback plan if you don't draft Shedeur Sanders or whatever quarterback at number 2.
Flacco can't even finish this whole season. I guarantee you he cannot play all 17 games this year.
Somebody says we have the wrong idea but the wrong player, because then it goes from the 816. Can 100% guarantee you Flacco did not mentor Drew Lock in Denver. He's quoted as saying, "That's not my job."
Right.
So maybe Flacco ain't that guy.
Yeah, we've had other, Ryan Tannehill said the same thing about Malik Willis, and it turned out that, he still helped him, but he did say that's not my job, so it could go either way. Just because they say that doesn't mean they're not actually going to help him in practice.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's interesting, like, that Flacco is still relevant. Like, to me, who saw Flacco landing a job before Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I mean, what's that say for, other things outside of just Cleveland?
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers has a job if he wants it. This is like up to Aaron Rodgers now. Like, this could have been done weeks ago. Pittsburgh's like, let's go. We got nobody. Let's go. And Aaron Rodgers is like, there's pyramids I want to see.
Something else that could be done weeks before it is, and I call BS when I hear this article, and I want to bring this up because Pro Football Talk brought up an article that says it could be mid-May before the schedule release.
May 13th, 14th, 15th. Yes.
So we all love the draft, right? But the second part, which I always consider the sequel to the new season, would be the schedule release. Because a lot of people say, ooh, that's a game I like. Ooh, I want to go to that game. Or, oh, they're going to play at this, country. The draft will get underway in less than 2 weeks. And the biggest thing left on the NFL's offseason schedule, once that is in the books, is the schedule release, is what they said. NFL Vice President of Broadcast Planning Schedule Release, Mike North, shed some light on when that will happen. Bob just mentioned it. It'll happen the 13th, 14th, and 15th range is probably still our target for releasing the schedule. North said the timing of the draft is the biggest reason why to wait for the schedule release, and that they will take a week or so to react and adjust to what happens in Green Bay and what Aaron Rodgers might decide to do before finalizing the schedule.
That's right. Yeah, no, it matters because they're TV draws, right? Shedeur Sanders will be a TV draw, right? You have to start to think, okay, Cleveland drafts Shedeur Sanders, people are going to want to watch them. They may get a primetime game because that. Aaron Rodgers ends up signing with Pittsburgh. Okay, now we got to adjust our primetime schedule and our big games because people will watch Aaron Rodgers. As much as we talk about Aaron Rodgers, he's probably the most popular, if you will, athlete in the NFL. Everybody's paying attention. We're watching everything he does. We're wondering about everything he does. People will watch Aaron Rodgers. If Pittsburgh doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, well, they're probably going to play every game at noon on Sunday, quite honestly. But if you have Aaron Rodgers, that absolutely changes the schedule. So, no, I understand why the NFL is waiting for those two things to happen before they determine what they're going to do. I'd rather have them wait a little bit longer than flex games that have already been scheduled because Aaron Rodgers, shows up to the party or something like that. So you wait as long as you possibly can, and then you schedule the games. But, I mean, the time is ticking. It usually is about May 15th or so when they put that schedule out.
And to give some more legs to this article that Bob said a lot of right there, they said, quote, or Mr. North said, a quote, the benefit of going a little bit later with the schedule release is getting a chance to see what happens in the draft. What do any of us know? But I think we kind of feel for the top couple of picks. But are there some trades that are going to happen? Still waiting on a future Hall of Fame quarterback to sign somewhere maybe this year. Hopefully a lot of that is known by draft day. And in recent years, this is no longer quoted. This is just a statement from probably Florio. In recent years, the league has primed the pump by announcing international, holiday, or other standalone games in the days leading up to the full release. May 15th is a Thursday, and picking that day would give the NFL a chance to use the whole week to turn attention towards the 2025 season. That's where the truth comes out. They know that after the draft, then out of nowhere in the past, half a decade, we'll call it, schedule release has boomed, right? And then that's it until, late August?
Yep.
When we start wrapping up preseason and we start really getting into the start of September, because from the end of May to August 30th, it is dead time in the NFL, right? Before training camp starts, and training camp's fun for the first week.
Well, July 15th, you get training camp. July 17th, 18th, somewhere in there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Major League Baseball season.
Yeah,
You're juiced up for opening day. The first weekend in St. Joe, everybody goes. The first fan appreciation day. And then you go on a random Tuesday, and you're like, there's 12 people here. Yeah. I kid. There's more than that. But obviously, you're in the dog days of summer.
School has started again.
Yeah.
People are back.
Even if they even get a summer break, I kid. But this is legitimately the NFL stretching, right? How many times is
that's how they stay relevant every month of the year. The only time they're not relevant is June 15th to July 15th. No, it's I've been doing this 15 years. The schedule used to just get emailed to you on a random Tuesday. Oh, the schedule's out. And then one year, Binkley said, I want to do a schedule release show. And our boss at the time was like, you're an idiot. There's no reason to do a schedule release show. Binkley did a schedule release show. And every year after that, every network has been doing a schedule release show.
Here we go, Bink.
So Binkley has kind of set the trend for that.
Yeah.
But I know when that schedule comes out, we will sit down at home and we will go through the schedule. We will look at the games that are at home, which games we're going to go to, which games are on the road. Do you want to do a road trip this year? People will, that's a big day for planning for the rest of the year, especially when you have kids and you're doing all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You sit down and you look at the schedule and you go, all right, what works? You put it into your phone, you put it into your apps or whatever the case may be. You know when these games are going to be, and then you start to plan your fall that way. And so it's one of the biggest days on the sports calendars when the NFL gets released, because it has such a trickle-down effect on everything else and everybody else's life who's a big-time football fan.
You know it's big when certain insiders are trying to release the first one. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Day opponent for the Chiefs going to be the Broncos. Or, Chiefs Chargers confirmed by rap sheet that they are going to play in Brazil to start the Friday night season of the NFL. And then everything goes from there. And then there's always it's a schedule release, right? Where we'll get a random full Bears schedule. And then out of nowhere, you'll get the Eagles schedule, and you'll start seeing you'll start doing basically Sudoku, but NFL schedule. The Chiefs are playing the Eagles here. They're playing the Ravens here. They're playing Buffalo here. So there's only 4 slots.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 teams. You're so they're definitely playing so-and-so in December. That to me is the fun part.
Yeah, that is the fun part.
When you try to process of elimination.
Yes.
You're there's 4 primetime games. Yep. There's only 2 teams that make sense. They're either playing Detroit or they're playing this team in prime time. So it is great. It's something that we're always pining for, and it comes to that part of the season. And the NFL knows they can stretch that, right? They're also smart in being because baseball schedules release way early.
They release their schedule in August.
Yeah, where the Royals are playing a year in advance.
Yeah, no, baseball's gotten better at releasing, because I know when that schedule comes out, we go, all right, where are we going on our baseball trip this year? We look at the schedule,
And then football, they're right. If Aaron Rodgers does sign with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh and the Jets play next year in New York, that game's going on Sunday Night Football, or that's going to be an opportunity for those big brands to be hey, we want this much money on this. We want this game. I don't know who Pittsburgh plays next year, what division.
Right, but just an example.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Or if, obviously, let's say the Chiefs and Eagles, we know they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that game's going to be played in December in Kansas City. Hell yes. That's going to be a cold game coming off after the Christmas Day game let's see what this is. And then you get to have that sort of like excitement and buildup. So I get it. I'm on both sides of this because, yeah, they want to make sure they know where players and drafted players are going. But also, you're keeping your product as rich and as healthy as you possibly can.
I also like the fact that everybody talks about it. It's a great talking point for a lot of people with the schedule of where they're going to be and what's going to happen. But I will say this. I'd love to be in that meeting where all the network executives are sitting around fighting over games, because that does happen, where they fight over these games. And now, with the AFC no longer being exclusive to CBS and the NFC being exclusive to Fox, the fights are even better. You know, that's where you see, we'll trade you, all right, we'll give you Married with Children if you give us Eagles and Chiefs. And they will make trades like that. Like Al Michaels got traded, okay, for the original Mickey Mouse. We've seen this over the years. There was somebody else that was traded back in the day as a broadcaster for something ridiculous as well. Like, they will make some of these moves.
Well, I mean, Greg Olsen was traded for Tom Brady.
Well, he was demoted for Tom Brady. You know, he wasn't traded for Tom Brady. He was definitely demoted because of Tom Brady. But you've seen it over the years where they, all right, we'll give you this TV show and you give us that. Or like, why is that show there now? Well, they traded with the NFL because they wanted this game. And so it's big business. And these guys get in these rooms and they battle it out, man. And then you've got to please everybody. Terrible job, the NFL schedule. Because at the end of the day, Amazon's not happy. Netflix isn't going to be happy. NBC's not going to be happy. CBS, Fox aren't going to be happy. But everybody's going to love having the NFL.
I just wish it was like an auctioneer, where they're like, all right, first game of the new season, we got Philadelphia and Kansas City. Do I see 14 million? I see 14 million. 45, 85, 85, 45, 45, 85, Fox.
That
45.
would be fun, right? Yeah.
Oh, I'd sit back, cocktail it up, gummy out, and just be like, man, this is intense. How much money have we already seen tonight?
Well, and to tell you how much money's involved, this just came out from the league yesterday about their money in the central fund, if you will, however you want to call it, with the National Football League. The teams are splitting $23 billion in revenue this year. It means $412 million per team.
Damn.
Oh, that's before selling a ticket.
Yeah.
That's before selling a beer. That's before parking a car. That's before selling an ad. That's before anything local that these teams make. Each team is getting a national check from the national merchandise and the national TV deals and all the national money for $412 million apiece.
Is that like when we got COVID checks for
That's
$1,200?
right. Yeah.
You don't need this, but here it is, just in case. I'm going to buy me a golf cart.
$412 million they're getting just for having a team. You wonder why people want to be in the NFL, in that business.
We will bring you back the update that is from Alex Gold about the sports gambling in Kansas that broke this morning. Plus, there was a collab that happened in the fashion world, and I want to know about what a collab would be with musicians and the music world. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends at Smokehouse Barbecue are ready to cater your big event this spring. Maybe you have a graduation party coming up, right? And you don't want to deal with the food? Let Smokehouse Barbecue handle all of that, because your graduation party will be a hit when fans and friends roll up and they see burnt ends, they see baby back ribs, they see the world-famous hickory pit beans, and they know Smokehouse Barbecue catered that event. It is going to be unbelievable to have your party, your event catered by Smokehouse Barbecue. You've got Mother's Day coming up, graduations coming up, all kinds of great spring activities, Easter coming up as well. Smokehouse has you covered. They have great fish items. Their smoked salmon is absolutely awesome. Their shrimp skewers are amazing as well, and I love their pulled chicken sandwich. It is phenomenal right now at Smokehouse Barbecue. So take advantage of all of that great food by stopping by one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. And don't forget to get the Cajun butter chicken wings with that homemade ranch dressing. You're not going to find anything better anywhere in KC. And you can also place all of your orders at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just 2 deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons you should call us? 1, it's easy. You can hire us today on your phone. 2, it's fast. We can start helping you today. 3, the results.
After my wreck, DM Law got me $200,000. Mike's got this.
Call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side still slowdowns 435 eastbound from Holmes over towards 104th Street. The earlier problem cleared out the left lane, but now they got 2 right lanes blocked with a stall that appeared in the backup. Also slow westbound approaching 104th Street with the shoulder blocked on that side, and slowdown's not quite back into the Grandview Triangle. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Diving back into it here on 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe, Mac, Dustman. A few things Masters related. I found this out yesterday watching a podcast that I follow called Foreplay. Riggs, Frankie, all those guys. Did you know that broadcasters, they had Chamblee on as their guest this week, the announcer for Golf Network? Said broadcasters aren't allowed to say fan, driving range, and back nine plus more on the air of the Masters.
You asked me earlier why you don't think people watch golf.
Yeah.
You just answered your own question.
Can I say fan? Can I say driving range? Can I say back nine? Plus more when you're announcing for the Masters. And then this guy rips a piss in Rays Creek.
That's why I love that guy. Let's go. What's his name?
Let's go. Man, already Ballister.
Jose Ballister,
yeah,
right?
Jose Ballister.
Wearing the upside down Arizona State hat, which is
those are
awesome.
Yeah, those are branded.
Yeah,
now.
of course, but I mean that's Augusta we're talking about.
Right.
Where nobody pees in public, and you can't say back nine.
Are you a more front nine or back nine guy?
Front nine.
Okay, Mac.
Confused by the question.
Would you like to get 9 in, or do you like to have right out of the chute? Like, do you feel you'd be more
Oh, right out of the chute.
Okay. Yep. When the endurance is hot.
Yep.
There you go.
That hole 2, I'm done.
I'm out. Yeah.
I've had enough of this game.
Yeah.
Get in the cart, go get some beers.
Can't say back nine.
Can't say driving range.
Driving range.
Can you say range?
The practice area here at the Masters. Put down your cup of coffee.
Talk about gambling for a while. Then Binkley sends me a text. Here's a quote, and he's highlighted it. Quarterback Joe Flacco said he doesn't see mentoring quarterback rookie Drew Lock as part of his responsibility, even if he wants his fellow quarterbacks to do well. Listen, I have so many other things to worry about. Flacco isn't a team guy, Dust Man. And then just another text just says, Hunter is going too.
Yeah, that's where it's leaning. I disagree with Bink on that. That does not mean you're not a team guy. That is true. That is not your job.
No, it's not.
It's not your job.
I said the mentor thing. I think that's how I would envision Cleveland being.
Yeah.
With that, wanting him to be that mentor, bringing him back. They saw something in him. But no, it is not your job to be the mentor. Those guys are trying to take your job and get you fired. So no,
doesn't mean he won't help him or be nice and say, "Hey, I would do this," but it's not his job. It's true.
It's 100% true. And I hate when fans say he should be that mentor. I was just using that as what I was thinking Cleveland may be.
And
thinking,
you might be right.
And I may be right. I may be wrong.
You might be right.
I mean, Abdul Carter just tweeted out a picture of Lawrence Taylor.
Goosebumps.
What kind of pants are you wearing over there? You wearing jeans?
I got jeans on today, brother.
Thank God.
You're lucky I don't have skinny jeans on today because I'd be falling out of those right about now.
Once a giant, always a giant.
And that's the quote. He puts a picture of Lawrence Taylor up, Abdul Carter, and a picture of Lawrence Taylor, and it says, "Once a giant, always a giant." Wellington Bears quote, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So are we starting to have a feel of how this thing is going? Like Cam Ward, number 1 overall, right?
Yep.
You guys think it may be Travis Hunter, number 2?
No, I think it's Abdul Carter.
He thinks it's Abdul Carter.
Oh, you think Abdul Carter's going number 2?
Yeah. Bink and I are kind of leaning Hunter at 2.
Why does he tweet a picture of Lawrence Taylor, though?
I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's going to the Giants.
That's right.
Maybe the Giants are trading up to 2, and the Browns are trading back and taking Shador there.
Could see that.
Oh, yeah.
That could make sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. Or the Browns draft Abdul Carter, the Giants draft Shador Sanders, and you trade both of those guys. Now, that's the drama that we need. That's why the NBA draft is fun, because everybody gets picked, but nobody ends up on the team that they're drafted
100%.
by. Everything's just moving around and all that kind of stuff. We haven't really seen a draft day trade like that, really, since the Eli Manning-Phillip Rivers trade back in the day, right? When they traded actual players that were drafted of that magnitude. That would be kind of cool if we saw something like that.
That'd be awesome.
Who would be the bigger athlete that would make people go fanboy? Abdul Carter or Malik Neighbors? Because who is it in Dallas? CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons?
I don't know.
I think it's CeeDee Lamb in Dallas, but I think in New York, I think because of the Lawrence Taylor thing, I think Abdul Carter.
Defense has always been a big thing. The Giants have never had offense. So I think the Abdul Carter pick would be huge. Because when you start to compare yourself to Lawrence, like just look at the comments that are already on. One guy goes, "Do you like Dunkin' Donuts?" Which I think was a great comment. But
Victor Cruz for like 3 years was a god.
Yeah, because like much like like the Royals not being able to find that power hitting outfielder ever. The Giants never really had wide receivers, and so you have a guy that's good and did a dance and they won a Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff.
And then right after that, you get a guy that makes one of the greatest catches you've ever seen in your life.
It's unbelievable.
And he's a god overnight.
Yeah, and then
then Malik Neighbors comes in here this year and everyone's like, "Oh, leak."
Right.
All
right. But I mean, the defense has always been like, I mean, the Giants are the originators of the defense chant in the 50s and all that kind of stuff. So defense is always like, you're tweeting out a picture as a guy that's getting ready to be drafted of one of the greatest athletes of all time. and the team is picking 3, and you just tweet a picture of Lawrence Taylor. Like, either you're trolling the F out of Giant fans, or you know where you're going, right? Like, I feel like that's one of those where he may have a feel that the Giants are going to pick him at number 3. All the scuttlebutt, everybody's kind of talking behind the scenes. Agents are lining things up. People kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. I don't know. Could be totally wrong about that. Could be totally wrong about the Flacco thing being a mentor. But I just feel like if you're Cleveland right now, you don't have a quarterback of the future. Flacco's your quarterback of today.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just waiting a year, though. Who knows if you're Cleveland?
Speaking of what is happening, I'm going to give you a quick Masters update here, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Each drink, scenic views. Justin Rose, the leader, is out and about. He is 1 under through 3, so he now has a 4-shot lead. He is at 8 under for the tournament. Ludwig Oberg is at -4. Corey Connors at -4. Scotty Scheffler at -4. Oberg or Aberg, however you want to say it, he tees off at 8:58. This is all Central Time that I'm giving you. Connors at 11:22. Scotty Scheffler at 12:23. And then tied for 5th is Terrell Hatton.
Oh, I like him.
Do you really?
Yeah, he's from the Hattons over there in Mission Hills. Yeah, knew him growing up.
Yeah, he's not even from America. And then he and Bryson DeChambeau are at 3 under. Bryson DeChambeau tees off in about 20 minutes. He tees off at 9:15. That is where my attention is at. Right. And then some guys that some people might be rooting for. Batia, the guy that weighs like 100 pounds soaking wet.
Oh, is that the guy who looks like the Miami coach?
Yeah, but he can shape a golf shot any way, shape, or form. That's like his specialty. That's
cool.
He can cut it. He can slice it. He can punch it. He can do anything you want with it. But those are some notable names that are teeing off a little bit later on today. But again, Rose, Aber, Connors, Scheffler, DeChambeau, those are your top 5 when it comes to the Masters. And again, brought to you by Twin Peaks, Each Drink Scenic Views.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather, after day 1, be Rose -7, 3-stroke, 4-stroke lead, or would you rather be lurking, you're 3 strokes back, you're in second, but you're lurking behind, you're looking good?
You always want to have the lead.
Okay.
Yeah, now, most people would say that, it's easier to come from behind if you're in contention than to go wire to wire, just because it will always be there. Rose also, I don't believe, has ever won the Masters.
Is it Justin Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's led before. Like he's led day 1 before.
Gotcha.
It's been a while, but he's done it. Obviously, I believe he's won the gold medal in the Olympics. He's a well-qualified golfer. He's won, tournaments throughout his entire career. Really good. Actually, a really good dude from England. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Bob says something that's pretty smart because you want to have the lead at any point. And wow. Yeah. And but no, I mean, like, I don't know.
You want to lead wire to wire. I mean, it's
that'd be awesome.
Get a lead, and then I don't want to say sit on it because that's not the proper term, but get a lead and go out there and play from ahead. There's no stress, right? If you're playing from ahead, you're only playing against yourself at that point in time. Everybody else is playing against themselves and everybody else that's ahead of them. So if you're in 5th place, you're playing against yourself and 4 other dudes that are ahead of you. You're leading, you're just playing against yourself and going out there and playing golf.
Yeah, and it's different too because, like, obviously I told you this yesterday, the guys that tee off at the time yesterday will reverse it. So, like, Bryson, who finished later in the day, will now finish, like, midday today.
See, that's the bigger thing for me because I'm listening to you read those tee times. I'm like, damn, these guys got to tee off in the afternoon. Not only are they behind or whatever, but they now got to watch everybody kind of go through the morning. And so you may be 3 strokes back now, but by the time you tee off, you could be 6 strokes back, you know?
It's terrible. Yeah,
that sucks.
It's brutal. But also, like, they might have, it could work in your advantage too.
Sure,
like yesterday, the wind kind of stopped for the last, 45 minutes to an hour of the day. And Augusta's so, hilly and valley that, like, there's certain holes where wind does affect it, where, like, it might be blowing in your face on the tee box. But by the time you get to the 16th green, it's blowing at your back. And it's just because of the way it moves. And then you might have the later tee times where the wind's irrelevant, where in the morning it was like, well, these guys in the morning shot high because, it was, 15-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Tonight, they're in the later day, there aren't that sort of thing. So it's funky. And then, of course, Saturday's moving day. Everybody just kind of goes through, the whole thing. And then Sunday's the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope today is a lot like yesterday where it was up and down, exciting. We saw Rory boom it and then bust it. We saw Justin Rose come out of nowhere. And then Bryson DeChambeau's doing his thing. And then there's Freddie Couples, man.
Yeah, Freddie Couples at 1 under. Let's go, man.
Cools the other side of the pillow, to quote one Stuart Scott, R.I.P. But that
71 years old and still rocking it out there, man.
And hold out twice.
Yeah.
It just goes like this.
Yeah, it's great. I like
with
seeing
a neon yellow ball. Just all the old man feels. Let that 65
New Balance on, too?
I mean, maybe. Hey, they're kind of coming back, man. Cooper Flagg. You know?
It's true. New Balance.
No, New Balance are fine. It's the ones you get at Kohl's with your Kohl's cash.
The white with the navy blue NB on the side. Yeah,
it's like the
100%.
Nike shoe.
Yeah. It's like the one Andy wears.
With the swish.
Exactly.
Speaking of Nike and Prada, they merged.
Nike and Prada?
I'm sorry. Prada and Versace, they merged.
That would be crazy.
That would be
well, but you've seen Nike do collabs with, God, what's the name of that shoe company that they did a collab with years ago? Dress shoe company.
Oh, Travis.
No.
Steve Madden. Doc Martin.
Ralph Lauren. I don't
No.
know.
Birkenstocks.
No. Anyway, they did like a dress shoe company. They did a collab, and Nike and them collaborated on something like that. So when you said that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I could definitely see something like that happening.
Pretty cool.
So Prada and Versace, those are pretty big names, right? They collabed.
All stuff that I can't afford.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That'd be like Nike and Adidas.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are like the kings of their.
Would it be who would be the guy? Would it be LeBron who's team Nike, or would it be Mahomes who's team Adidas?
I think you got to go with the future and the current, and that's Mahomes. And LeBron's kind of in the past. Like he's going to be
the bigger
gone.
name.
Well,
LeBron.
yeah, it's LeBron. Yeah,
Not even close.
But LeBron's going to age out soon. You know, and then Patrick's still going to be here. But I guess Jordan's aged out, and we still have Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What would be a band or two bands that would merge that you'd enjoy?
The Beatles and Rolling Stones.
That's interesting.
That would be dope.
I didn't know that was in your. Okay. I like that. You said Green Day and Blink-182.
Green Day and Blink-182.
But they sing each other's songs.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Hearing Billy and Tom kind of switch off.
Hear Mark Hoppus singing Good Riddance would be awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
That sounds like his sort of.
I was gonna say Mark actually would fit that merge better, probably.
What would Vip say? Sting and the Police?
Yeah. No, he'd go Phil Collins and Genesis.
Yeah. What if like they did that? Like, because didn't Van Halen try that with Hagar and Eddie, or not Eddie, but what's his name? The guy that did a bunch of cocaine. David Lee
that
Roth
narrows it down.
No, David Lee Roth and like Eddie and Sammy Hagar, they went on a tour. Then it like lasted like 3 times. And
Oh,
they're
is
like,
that it?
and then like they're like, yeah, we can't stand each other.
Oh, yeah.
Well, David Lee Roth was known as like a jerk because he was always just whacked out of his mind.
Yeah.
And then Hagar's just drinking Cabo Wabo or whatever that tequila was.
Well, it's funny, though, because money trumps everything. Like, you can get together. Like, look at all these bands that are getting back together and doing these tours.
Go look at ticket sales.
I mean, it's crazy,
It's
right?
nuts.
So why would you ever give up on that kind of stuff? As long as people are paying, you're going to go out there and tour, and people pay for all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Just gonna buy like Mudvayne and Metallica and just get after it. Shirtless in the mosh pit. Coming up, it's 9:00. It's Richard of the Week. Everybody knows that mine is going to be the same one. I got yesterday with news.
you did, and that sucks because I love that story, and I am so pissed it's fake.
But I wasn't the only one, and we all agree with it here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, you've got an opportunity to play the Underdog app. Here's how the Underdog app works for you. It's basketball season. We're coming down the home stretch, and Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can now play it in the state of Missouri. To play, it's simple. Choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, points, assists, rebounds, and so much more. And with the Underdog app, they've got all of your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You can create entries with all basketball selections or do like I do, which I love doing, mixing and matching across other sports. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into 1,000 just with your sports knowledge. And millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Here's how you do it. Download the Underdog app, sign up with the promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code BOB to get up to 1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Get the grass pad's very own weed and feed. If you got dandy dandelions, they're prancing in your yard. Get the grass pads, weed and feed. Hit 'em fast and hard. You'll see nary a dandy dandelion, and brother, that's a fact. So come on down to the grass pad and give those weeds a whack. Come on down to the grass pad. The grass pad's high on grass.
The deals are hot, hot, hot this weekend at Hy-Vee. This Friday through Sunday, for 3 days only, the deals are on fire. Get boneless, skinless chicken breasts, $2.99 a pound. 24-pack Hy-Vee water, $1.99. Red Baron frozen pizza, $2.99 each. And Coca-Cola 6-packs, just $3.69. Check out our low everyday prices on thousands of items. Stock up and save big this Friday through Sunday only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing better than breakfast at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. They have fresh, made-to-order breakfast entrees crafted with the highest quality ingredients, like Hy-Vee's famous biscuits and gravy, sunrise breakfast burrito, the brioche French toast, sweet cream pancakes, omelets, skillets, and more, all served with a side of fresh and crispy hash browns. Kids 5 and under always eat free, and they serve 6 to 11 a.m. on Monday through Friday and 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Mornings just got a whole lot brighter with breakfast at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Do you know a coach who goes above and beyond? The Royals, the CU and the Major Leagues Foundation, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City are recognizing those impactful men and women. Nominate your high school coach at royals.com/coaches with character.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Down almost 30 pounds. Fast, right? Look, the best part is that the weight will stay gone because Awaken 180 isn't a Band-Aid. It's the solution for weight loss. Do what I'm doing, lose the weight, and receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 eastbound, slow from Holmes Street over towards 104th with an earlier problem still out there in the left lane. Heading out of the Grandview Triangle, 435 westbound, a little sluggish with a problem in the 2 right lanes. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Join us for the Fans Draft Party on Thursday, April 24th from the Landing in Liberty. We'll be broadcasting live, plus your chance to win $965 and an autographed Chiefs helmet in our draft contest. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
From the 913 random question, Drew says he could break 100 at Augusta. Highly doubtful in parentheses. Who scores the best at Augusta, Drew or Dusty? Let's make a bet at a local neutral course, and they play around against each other. I'll be honest with you, Drew would beat me.
He would?
9 times out of 10.
I was going to say, no question.
Well, he's
let's go, Dusty. Come on.
I mean, I would give it my all. He's a lower handicap than I am. So, like, if you want to get really into logistics of it, I would be needing to be given a few strokes on each side of the course. So he'd probably have to give me 2 aside.
Okay. What if Bob caddied for you?
I mean, I would love it because Bob would just have my bag full of surf sides. If I hit if I hit a shank, he'd be like, "Here."
I mean, I wouldn't have them. I'd be drinking them.
Yeah. I'm like, "Where you at, Bob?" I'm over here.
Got the surf side in the cart, Dusty.
Yeah, Cole Haan is the shoe you're looking for.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
There you go.
Masters prices this year are crazy. Ticket-wise, I think you get them on the secondary market. Yesterday's opening round was up 21% from a year ago.
Like
Average ticket price on the opening round was $2,909 to get in. Sunday's final round is up 33%.
Why?
$2,613 to get in on the secondary market. Last year it was $1,960 to get in. Why the big jump this year?
That's what I'm saying.
I got a friend down there in Augusta that I met a couple weeks ago at spring training, just randomly, right? And he goes, yeah, I got a house down there. One of these companies rents my house out for the week just to use the kitchen because they rent out the entire block, right? He makes his money on this. And he says, you can still find typical Wednesday tickets like $500 from locals if you go down there. Wow, the typical local for a day is $1,800 to get on there during Thursday, Friday, or Saturday if you buy it from one of the locals, man.
Yeah, tough. I'll watch it from my TV.
Wow.
Brutal. Let's get into Richard of the Week.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy. Hold me.
Richard of the Week.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Richard of the Week brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part is 0 bubbles, so 0 troubles. Take it away, Bob.
All right, you want me to start with this one? This comes from the state of Missouri.
Oh, I was say state of Kansas.
Well, that too. I mean, everybody's Richard of the Week is anybody trying to stop gambling in Kansas. Y'all suck. Here's what.
Not my state.
That's your state now?
Missouri is.
Oh, Missouri. No, they're not. So a Missouri woman was accused of trading her foster child for an exotic monkey.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
So she adopted a
Did
child.
I stutter?
Did I stutter?
A Missouri woman was accused of trading her foster child for an exotic monkey. She's been arrested. Brenda Ruth Deutsch, 70 of Lincoln County, wherever the hell that is, was arrested on 3 felony counts of neglect, child abuse, and child endangering stemming from the initial allegations of a missing child who was later located in Texas. Lincoln County prosecutor Mike Wood, not the former Royals pitcher, I don't think, told NBC News in a phone call Wednesday that Deutsch, who he said has fostered more than 200 children for about 15 to 20 years, is also being investigated in connection with allegations that she traded the child for a monkey. At least 2 witnesses have come forward with information regarding the transportation of the monkey back to Missouri after the child was delivered. But we will have to further investigate whether that was actually a trade for the child or if it was something that does not rise to the level of any type of trafficking. An attorney for Deutsch was not listed in court documents. Before Deutsch's arrest, 200 or more hotline calls were made to the Missouri Department of Social Services Children's Division, the state child protective service agencies, about activities in Deutsch's home. The Department of Social Services did not immediately reply to a request for comment. Between September 22 and January, Deutsch struck the child in the face, which resulted in bleeding. A complaint filed Monday alleges the child's age is unclear.
Yikes.
Didn't need that on my Friday.
We've talked about a lot of bad trades this week. That's the worst one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mac, you have a Richard of the Week
This woman traded a child for a monkey.
Yeah, it's.
Haven't you always wanted a monkey?
No, I don't think exotic animals should be pets. We had a person come into Jack Stack one night, and she had a service monkey.
You'd be surprised how many people have monkeys. There was somebody walking in Arizona carrying a monkey. Wow. Carlos Beltran had a monkey.
Just stupid. Yeah, service monkey in a restaurant. It's like walking around grabbing onion rings off tables.
God, that is asinine.
You got to draw the line. Somebody's service
water,
monkeys.
and she had like this fake card, and she's like, "It's a service monkey. I have state legalization." We're like, "That's not real."
No,
I have a fake card that says I can have this peacock walk around with me.
I have a medicinal card. Doesn't mean I'm smoking a J in the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do this. I have a card.
Yeah, service monkey. I just don't think exotic animals should be.
I'm with you. The service monkeys and the service squirrels, and the animal that you pet because you're nervous on a plane and all that kind of crap.
It's a service pet. Okay. Well, that service pet is clearly not trained because it's eating onion rings off table 43.
Yeah, be honest about your service pets.
Go ahead, Mac. Take it away.
Mine goes back to the beginning of the week when Florida won the national championship. There was a reporter for the school that she went viral a couple weeks ago. She's a beautiful blonde girl that goes to Florida, and that's her beat. She covers the men's basketball team. She interviewed one of their players, kind of went viral because they were kind of making goo-goo eyes at each other. She makes a selfie video of them winning the national championship. 10 seconds, clock's winding down. She has a selfie video, kind of like a reaction video. She's covered this team all year, probably her whole education. They win the national championship. As you guys know, in the press, you're not allowed to have a reaction. She has a little subtle gasp or something, like kind of like we just won the national championship. Maybe even a smile.
And she's a student.
God forbid, touched her face. Yes. And then now all of these reporters, some of which were at the game, some of which not, coming out on Twitter. This is terrible. This can't be in sports media. This is a huge problem. just being total D's, man. It's like this is a student who watched her team, kids that she probably knows, has class with, and watched them win the Natty.
Yeah,
and she's been there every game.
Those are some tough guys right there, man.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
You know what? I'm more concerned with the people who are like, hardos for the media can't cheer type stuff.
It's
okay,
ridiculous.
At the end of the day, I mean,
it's a game.
It's a game. You go to that school, you're part of that team. It's a college environment. Who the hell cares? Like, if you're the stodgy media people, it's a big reason why I don't want to go to games anymore in the press box is because it sucks.
Turn off.
People do cheer at Chiefs games, at least when I was there. When Mahomes would make plays, people would be like, oh, my God. Like, how could you not? How could you not have a reaction?
Yeah, you're fake if you don't.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm the media. I have a mustard stain on my shirt, and I have to write this article that nobody's going to read in a paper that nobody subscribes to.
Exactly. No, F that. This is a 21-year-old girl who's having the time of her life.
Well, I didn't know you guys are media. You're all chiefed out. I figured I'd just cut you in line.
That guy was a douche. Did we ever tell that story on
know
the
if
air?
we
Because
did.
that happened on Friday.
Oh, I forgot about that story.
You guys are all
And then we
chiefed
lost
out.
the game, and I totally forgot about that until right now. So we're in line in New Orleans to pick up our passes for the game, which is Friday. That's how you do it, right? Nobody cares.
No, it's a line that literally says media credential line. You must have a credential to just get into that line,
Right.
first off.
Right. So we're in that line to get our next set of credentials for the game. They give you a week of credential, and then they give you a game credential.
And it is
right?
Friday, and we were told by our big boss that we should get all our Chiefs gear on for that day.
Right. I went and spent money and bought all kinds of new Chiefs gear so I would look nice, like professional type stuff and whatnot. So we're feeling good about all this stuff. I got my nice shirt on. And this guy just cuts in line in front of us. And I think at that point in time, I may have been wearing the captain's hat. And some,
you were.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I was. I maybe had the Brett Veachtown shirt on.
Probably.
Maybe was wearing some beads at this point in time.
We were beaten out.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. We're Chiefs fans, and we happen to do a radio show. Okay, that's where we are. So we're standing in line to get our pass, and we have all our Chiefs gear on. Again, I may have had my face painted. I'm not sure. I may have had my shirt off with a big KC logo on it. Not quite sure. So this guy cuts in line, and I'm like, "Where do you think you're going?" Because at this point of the time, it's Friday. I'm on edge, right? Okay. I've had enough of the week. I'm done. I'm done with people. It's time to we're getting ready to go hang out with Vip and drink and have ourselves a time and go to Sneaky Pete's and Mac can meet a new friend. And so
Yeah, he started to creep in front of me.
right started.
And I was like, are you all right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Well, this is for media. You're all chiefed out." I go, "Yeah, we are media. We have the pass. What's your point?" Well, I just you
didn't expect it.
You're trying to cut the line. End of the line, douche.
We don't have time to get to my Rich of the Week, but I'll make it a topic on the other side here on Fescoe and Dusty. And don't forget, once again, Rich of the Week is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories. And the best part, 0 bubbles. We'll get to what I think is just a Richard of the Month on the other side. Plus, we'll dive into the Royals series and what Vern had to say on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
That's right. Baseball's back. Those Royals are 7-6 and playing some good baseball, and they got a tough one tonight versus Cleveland. And this season, we are bringing you the proud partner of your Kansas City Royals, Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. They're absolutely delicious and pair perfectly with a night at the K or a day at the K or maybe a night on the patio where you're watching your team play away from the K. You can also find it in Kauffman Stadium all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving and is the best part of it. 0 bubbles, so it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game or watching the game. Ask for it at your local bars and liquor stores. You must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some people follow the rules, but where's the fun in that? I'm Saraya, and this is Rule Breakers, the podcast where we celebrate the rebels, the risk takers, and the ones who make their own way. Every week, I sit down with the boldest voices in sports, entertainment, and beyond to talk about breaking barriers, defying expectations, and rewriting the rules. No limits, no apologies, just real talk. Follow and listen to Rule Breakers with Saraya, an Odyssey podcast available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Storm season 2025 is here. Get peace of mind on the health of your roof and make Century Roofing your first call. We have extended our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements. Get a Class 3 or 4 impact-resistant shingle for the same price of the standard 30-year or premium shingle. Save on your insurance premium and see why we continue to be voted best of Johnson County. Trust the pillars of strength for 35 years. KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 64.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Diving right back into it here on, is that Steven Spector calling us? It says Steven.
Oh, Steven's calling us?
Nah, he's here, man. He was listening to our show in his office. I was nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I want to bring this up real quickly because we've got some gambling in the state of Kansas to talk about.
Has anything changed? They said they were going to vote around 9 o'clock. At least Alex said that. So.
Yeah, but then he said they got like all day to do this stuff. He's like, it's a long-going process. And again, Alex will give you fine detail at 10 a.m. because he does say that it is hard to make stuff like this make sense to the average person that's not in depth with the terminology. And I get it. It is tough. But basically, Kansas is trying to get rid of sports gambling. That's in a nutshell.
It kind of feels that way now. I've got a friend who's a political guy going, what are they doing? Yeah, I don't know that this is possible, but who knows? I mean, we'll kind of figure out what goes on as the day continues to as it continues to unfold. But Alex said they were going to gavel in around 9 o'clock and kind of see where they are, kind of reset for those who are just joining us. Wait, Kansas is getting rid of gambling?
Right. I mean, come on, man. Somebody says, I bet you would have let Kay Adams cut the media line. Absolutely.
That's how you do it if you're in a rush. And hey, but this guy was
much busier than we are.
Yeah, this guy was trying to snake in like Cody.
Yeah, and he looked like the guy that creates Bane and Poison Ivy from Batman Forever. That's what that guy looked like.
I couldn't remember. I wouldn't know that guy if he sat down with us today. That's how heated I was.
You guys were all chiefed out.
Yeah, we will be in about a half hour too.
Yeah.
We're going to meet Vip.
Have you been to Bourbon Street? So I want to bring this up because I did get got yesterday, but not in a way that's like terrible. They this fake website like Talking Baseball or whatever basically said that Zach what's his name? Zach Hampel.
Hampel, yeah.
We all know who that is. For those of you that don't know who Zach Hampel is, he's the Richard that goes to baseball games and doesn't sit in his own seat. He looks up like analytics to see where guys or tendencies are going to hit home runs off certain players, and then he goes and steals them from children.
Yeah, he's just an awful guy, man.
And I don't want to hear the BS like, oh, he gives baseballs to kids. He does it very seldomly and not very often, and that's not his game. He wears T-shirts with his name on it.
Yeah.
People are now starting to realize who this person is. He just had a conflict with a home run that like is now involving the game. Some people have their own opinions where he didn't reach over the wall. He still made it a controversy. He still made it an issue. This guy sucks, man. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be honest. He goes to games and tries to scout out home run balls, and then he goes where his seats aren't and then reaches over kids. He's 47. You would get absolutely roasted if you went and did this for a living.
I'm 47 years old, and it's an $8 baseball.
Right. And so he goes and does this. So he'll be like, oh, Pete Alonso's going up against, I don't know, Paul Skeens. And Pete Alonso has Paul Skeens' number for whatever reason, and he tends to hit home runs to right center field. So he'll buy a cheap ticket, go down and just camp out in right field. And I think baseball parks do need to ban this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's no fun. He's not a good dude. He does it for public gain. He's all about himself. He's not about the game or the sport. Dusty, it's his hobby. No, it's not.
No, there's a difference between, like, he's akin to the old guy, like adult man that's standing outside of baseball stadium with a card book getting autographs of baseball players, not knowing who the baseball players are. Because I've experienced that before, where baseball players are walking in and a guy asks for an autograph. The guy goes, tell me who I am before I sign. And the guy had no idea who he was. Like, people who do that kind of stuff, they're losers. There's just no other way to put it. You're a sad individual. And this guy is knocking kids down, knocking people down, trying to get every baseball that he possibly can. It's not cool, it's not unique, and it's not nice.
And I'm not a parent. I mean, I have some good views, I think, sometimes if I did have children. But if this guy were to leap over my kid and make contact with him, it would not end very well for him. I'm not saying that I'm this big badass. But if, like, you're a 47-year-old man and you're trying to steal joy from a child.
It's so sad.
Richard of the Year.
Yeah.
This guy, get him out of here. And he's going to be more and more recognizable because he wears his little GoPro on his hat. He wears his name on his shirt. When they showed the replay, he was taking pictures of himself on the big screen.
Oh, he was? I missed
there's video
oh
of it.
my
Oh, it's
God.
terrible. Oh, I'll send you the video.
Oh, this guy gets better by the minute.
And the guys from Baseball is Dead. It actually is a fun podcast because they bring up good topics and relatable topics in baseball. They had this to say about it.
What are we doing with Zach Campbell as a society? You want to like take baseballs away from little kids and then act like you're a good guy because you give them the baseball after or whatever. Like,
not always.
You can be an annoyance to the general public at games, but when you start interfering in actual MLB games, that's when it's like, all right, what are we doing with this guy?
I mean, you seem to be very passionate about the Zach Campbell topic. I mean, I saw your socials.
I said this guy fucking sucks.
You did say that, and I wanted you to say it again. On a fundamental level, I think it is weird to throw yourself or your body in front of other people experiencing the event, a baseball game, in pursuit of baseballs as a grown adult. I think that's weird.
It's very weird. Yeah. Text line, definitely a Richard. Text line, he's going to get punched in the face very soon. Not a fan, but it is kind of cool he used analytics to achieve this. Yeah, it'd be cool if he did it like 4 or 5 times in like big moments. Like when everybody, like I will say this, if like Ohtani's 50th home run to go 50-50 and you're letting your child be around that, that's kind of up on you to be a parent. Like, like I remember when Bonds was getting ready to break the home run record and like when it happened, it was like a mosh pit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's the case, like if me, I'm just going to be like, hey man, I'm going to just like not be there. Like it's not worth it to me. Now, I know it's like a life-changing experience to catch a baseball. It's a record setter in the sport. But this guy stealing from children, involving himself as a 47-year-old man. I mean, dude, stealing from children is not a hobby. That's a Richard move. Get this guy out of ballparks. Get his face everywhere. Like if you see this guy, do not sell him booze. He's underage. If you see this guy at a ballpark, point him out. Somebody says he's a nightmare for security because he blocks the aisle. He's man, it's annoying. Like, get over it. It's cool if you're like 25. Like if Mac was out there, he's like, hey man, and this is if you're not married, you're single, you have a hobby, you go out there, you're like, hey, you know what? But if a ball comes in and it comes directly to me where my seat is, congratulations. But to buy a ticket and go somewhere else and try to get in people's way of the game and try to rob what could be a life-changing event for a child. Like imagine being a 9-year-old
and catching the home run ball or
like
whatever.
For instance, let's say Bobby Witt Jr.'s up, hits a bomb to left center and you're in the fountain seats. And then out of nowhere, here comes this loser, jumps in front of you and catches it and is like, cool. I'm sorry. I don't know how I'd handle that as a parent. It's not a good look. And I think baseball, and again, there was a fake release yesterday that I bid on. I'm sorry, because I'm passionate about this topic. And I was like, good, finally, this guy sucks. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, hey, by the way, this is fake. And then Deadspin writes an article on it.
Deadspin had the article, yeah, which I didn't know they still existed.
Barely. And just get him out of here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's time. He's run his course now in baseball. It's time to move on and make the game better for those in attendance that are actually there to watch the game and enjoy the game and not get run over by an adult with a GoPro trying to collect an $8 baseball. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. But then you sent this video of this kid walking out of an aisle at a baseball game, and this this woman wouldn't move in the front row, stepped over the woman's leg, and as she stepped over the leg, this woman kicks the child.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, what kind of...
You're bailing Jen out of jail if that happens. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, like...
Or she's bailing you out.
Yeah, she's bailing me, because stuff's going to go down at that point in time.
Because you got mad about the Cincy fans just barking at your children,
right?
Let alone making contact with your children.
Right. First of all, this child wanted to get out. The woman wouldn't move. She's in the front row, so it was like there's an aisleway and then the wall, right? It's in the outfield. Child wanted to get out. Woman wouldn't put her legs down that were propped up on the barrier there. So the kid stepped over, and as she stepped over, she clipped the woman who wouldn't move, and then the woman kicks the child. Like, that woman deserves to have the snot beat out of her.
And banned for the season.
I would ban her for life. I mean, we just got to start doing this to people who make fools of themselves at these games. And I was thinking to myself, my God, people are just the worst. And then, it reminded me of being in Arizona at spring training, and some ballparks are like this. When the ball's in play, they don't let you go down the aisle. Hockey games don't allow you to go down the aisle when the puck's in play. I love that. Now, the problem is there's no stopping people from coming up the aisle, but going back down is great, because if I'm sitting there trying to watch the game, and they should do this at Chiefs games too, everybody constantly getting up. Are you there to watch the game, or are you there to make a beer run?
Right. Text line, proud of you. Give yourself all a day for the responses we're getting, because it's unanimous. Somebody says, buy good seats to a game, go to the ballpark, find this guy, offer the people he's next to your good tickets other than the guy, so that way when he's on the Jumbotron, you elbow him in the face when a home run comes his way. Talk about a bonding experience with your son from the 816. Not only going to the game, but then to see your dad knock the blank out of this moron.
Yeah, right. That would be outstanding. How was the game? Mom, Dad beat up this dork.
And then for the 785, this guy's going to get his blanking ass kicked real soon. Hey, dude,
Well, I think people are done with it, though, because, again, it was a novelty at first, but now he's interfering with people.
No doubt. No doubt. That guy, he's getting what's coming to him. There's a thing called karma, and it's the guy that plays on the Chiefs, and it's also a guy that's going to knock out this Chief. I can promise you that. Get him out of baseball. Yeah. Big series coming up tonight with the Cleveland Guardians. Big for multiple reasons. One, it's your divisional foe. It's the big bad wolf of the division. They've been blowing the house down of all the other teams in the Central, other than the Minnesota Twins, who have won, I think, the Central 3 of the last 6 years. Otherwise, it's been Cleveland. Also, if you have short-term memory loss because you're a Missouri resident for also apparent reasons, Class A hit Jonathan India in the face the last time they faced each other. The Royals did not have a chance for retaliation. They do now. And one guy that I strive to be in my life because he's so good at his job and he's just an awesome dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is Josh Verner, right? He's always calmed me down on the Jack Caglione stuff and all that sort of thing because I'm just a fanboy and I admit it. But Vern had this to say with a caller that called in last night on his postgame show after the Royals took 3 out of 4 from the Twins. 3 out of 4 from the Twins is awesome, but we're on to Cleveland.
Who are we throwing at and who's throwing that ball when we see Cleveland?
No, I've been talking about this, thinking about this for a while. I love where your head's at, Charlie. Hunter Harvey's my choice. Urseg can do it as well. Who do I want? Well, you hit our leadoff hitter. We're coming right back at Stephen Kwan. That's my mindset. Hey, way too early in the season to think, to allow a division foe to think that they can own the inside part of the plate and there's going to be no retribution if one slips. Kwan, Ramirez, that Manzardo kid did not care for what I saw from him when they were at Kauffman Stadium, meaning he just hit the ball really well. So, listen, I know it sounds silly. It sounds barbaric. So be it. An eye for an eye. I want retribution in Cleveland. I want revenge in the Bronx. And I want to remind the Tigers that it ain't your time just yet.
So that's the foreshadowing of what the series will be. Like all those things. New York knocked you out of the playoffs and they had a little scubble at second base. Detroit, you want to let them know that you're here and you're here to stay. And Cleveland, you don't want to be pushed around. And I'm with Vern. I think set the tone early. Let them know you're not here to be messed with because we remember that 15 team, right? Yep. Chicago tried to, mess around and find out what happened.
And then we had Kane Holio.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I am
the great Kane Holio.
I am in favor of this because I think the Royals could gain a lot from this. One, the national perspective is going to be like, they ain't getting messed around with anymore. We saw that Woods Richardson guy or whatever his name is for the Minnesota Twins try to get cute with Kyle Isbell and MJ Melendez. That didn't work out well for him.
Right.
And look, Cleveland pitches, Cleveland hosts you tonight. Chris Bubich is your pitcher on the mound with a 0.00000 ERA. I understand that the umpires are going to know the situation. I'm not under a rock. I believe they will be known the situation. I'd like to know if I'll keep an eye on social media tonight with Vern and Andy Rogers and all those people that are involved around the team to see if there was a verbal warning given to both benches before the game. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. And even if that is the case, I'm still going in on Kwan or Jose Ramirez. I'm putting 2 seams on the hip or on the rib cage. I'm not asking for a headhunt. I'm not trying to stoop to that level. They sometimes say when somebody goes low, you go high. This is a situation where I think, as you had mentioned earlier, keep them thinking. Whereas I think this is one of those things where it's like, let them know, maybe you do go out there because you can't really throw an opener because then you're giving away your hand.
Yeah.
You're letting them know then why would Bubich not start when it's already going to be announced? But maybe if they don't give a verbal warning, or even if they do, right, you throw in. Because Vinny's comments after the game when he was like, yeah, how do I feel? I feel like that guy got hit in the effing face, right? And I think if this is one of those things where you bring this up and you talk about what it was and how, it affected the team afterwards, maybe this is where Vinny is that mouthpiece to Chris Bubich. And, media doesn't talk to pitchers the day of a start. That's the rule in baseball. But maybe this is one of those things that, an hour before the game, Vinny goes up and says, remember what we talked about. Stand your business. Stand your ground. Do this. Let's see what happens and see how they retaliate. And don't worry, we've got everybody's back.
Well, yeah, and I think they're probably going to hit somebody. That's just kind of the way baseball works. But it's weird how things kind of work in life. And I came in this morning, and I opened up X, formerly Twitter, and I saw this video. Pete Rose explains hitting to Good Morning America. I'm like, all right, I got to watch this, right? It's 30 seconds. I'll see what Pete Rose... I really thought he was going to say see-ball, hit ball, and I was going to be like, oh, my God.
Cut it, man.
Right, yeah, exactly. See-ball, hit ball. But Pete Rose got up there. He said, the first thing you have to do is not be afraid. If you're afraid that you're going to get hit, you're never going to have success. Okay, great. And then we start talking about this. I'm like, I kind of like that Pete Rose approach right there. Make these guys think that they're going to get hit, but never actually hit them, because every batter that goes up there that doesn't get hit, that doesn't get thrown at, the next guy's going to think he's the one. And the next guy's going to think he's the one. And the next guy's going to think he's the one. And the longer it goes, the more that these guys are thinking about that instead of thinking about what the next pitch may be. Pete Rose also said, look fastball every single time. And if it's something else, then adjust, which I think is the best advice, because that's your hit leader right there. Just look for fastball. Anything else, just adjust. It's fine. Like, okay, fine. Nobody else can do that on planet Earth, but maybe like 5 other people. But that was Pete Rose's advice. But I like the mental game, man, because the mental game can drive players nuts, especially in baseball. Because if you don't hit somebody today, now you got Saturday. They're going, all right, they didn't get us yesterday. Are they going to get us somebody today? And they're thinking about that. It's always what I said about the Chiefs. They're beating teams on Monday and Tuesday because they're making teams prepare for stuff that doesn't exist. They're wasting times with things that aren't out there, and they're beating these teams on Monday and Tuesday in the prep side of things. You can beat the Cleveland Indians in the mental game by just making them think that somebody's getting drilled, and when they're in the box, that's the first thought instead of what pitch is coming. So I think you can have fun with the mental game too.
And this is where like the WWE side of me comes into effect, because like, let's say that you were in a match and somebody came and interfered, hit you in the back with a steel chair and gave you a, DQ because the match has been disqualified. The next night or the next episode, you better hope that guy comes out, because the longer you wait, the less it gets to become intense and lets you know that they're there. Mm-hmm. Again, this was Vinny's comments after Clase hit Indy in the face.
My view of it was watch him get hit in the face, and I'm still kind of collecting my thoughts on it, but he threw a pitch that he doesn't ever throw the pitch before, which was a four-seam fastball. It was his first one of the year, and then the next pitch they trying to come back up and in with the next pitch, and I get it, you're trying to let a pitch ride, and it didn't. And it hit him right in the face after almost hitting him in the face the pitch before.
So that's Vinny explaining what he felt, and you can hear that. As again, we call Vinny the mouthpiece. That's what Vernon calls him. He's that guy that's going to go to the media and say exactly what the team is feeling because he has that clout. The other thing that I think this could be an advantage of is there is no hidden secret. This offense is struggling.
Right.
Vinny Pasquantino, 178. Sal Perez, 200. MJ Melendez, we know, 0.97. These guys aren't hitting.
Is that high now?
Yeah. These guys are not hitting.
Struggling.
And I think the one thing that you can do to maybe kickstart the tires and light some fires is go out there and be those dudes. Put one on the pocket. Put one in the rib cage. Again, not calling for headhunting, but what I'm calling for is to not be bullied. It's to not be pushed around. You want to win this division? You want to stand up to the bullies? They want to say, oh, we didn't mean to do it. I don't care. You got cute twice, and you hit a guy in the effing face. Go out there and let them know you're here and that you're not going away. Don't let the bully continue to shoulder shrug you in the hallway or pull you down by your backpack or kick you down the stairs. Put an end to it. They might be bigger and badder than you, but for one day, for one moment, you can put it to them, and that could then strike a fire on this team. And then what do you know? The Royals go out there and start hitting. The Royals start getting better and collabing as a team more and more, gelling more. And what's better than to gel early? Nothing. Because then if you go in there and you punch them in the face and you give some feedback to them that you're not going to be pushed around and you win 2 out of 3, and then you go into the Bronx and you ride high, that fear of being in New York and seeing the pinstripes and the torpedo bats and the short walls, now all of a sudden that advantage New York is a little bit slighter for them because you're getting a team in there that's ready to kick ass and take names. And that's what I think you could take advantage of tonight in Cleveland on Friday night with Chris Bubich.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you got to go in there, obviously, and let everybody know that you're not going to be messed with. But I also think I'm just a fan of the mind game, and I like Cleveland thinking. I'd hit them on the last game of the season between the two, right in the side of the ear or something like that. Get them and make them think all year long and make them have to constantly go back to the drawing board. Are they going to hit us this time? Are they going to hit us this time? Are they going to hit us that time? And just make them think, because I think the power of the mind is so much better than the physical side of things. And so that's the route that I would go. I know I'm a little bit different in that one. Everybody wants to get revenge and throw at somebody and do that whole thing, but we'll see how Q handles it too. I think it's a big test in his managerial too, to see what he's going to advocate for, what he's going to allow, what he's going to suggest, what he's going to be comfortable with. We'll see how they police themselves. And sometimes the game gets policed themselves. You go up there, you hit Jose Ramirez or you hit Quan, and then it's completely over. And then everybody can go back to business and play baseball. And so maybe that's what happens tonight too. But it's more important to go out there and get those wins, and you don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize, especially if the umpires warn people before the game. If they do that, then all bets are off. And that really does suck, because if they warn you, then you know they're not going to throw at you. And then it's now the mental game's gone, the physical side is gone. So I hope the umpires don't get involved and start warning the dugouts before the game tonight.
5:10 start, I believe, tonight in Cleveland. That means Vern's pregame show starts at 4 o'clock. Vern's On Deck show at 4 o'clock tonight here on 96.5 The Fan. We'll lighten up the mood a little bit because Gary Player said something yesterday that should make you smile and give you a good vibe.
He's not the only old dude doing something unbelievable. Did you see Terry Bradshaw? We'll tell you
Better
about that.
believe it. That's a tease here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Jay's Southland Tow are ready for you. The problem is you don't know when you're going to be ready for Jay's Southland Tow. You don't schedule cars breaking down on Tuesday or Wednesday or any day. It just happens. You never schedule an accident. It just happens. And you never schedule locking your keys in the car, right? That just happens. When all of those things happen, Jay's Southland Tow Service is just a phone call away. And it doesn't matter if you're north, south, east, or west, Jay's Southland Tow Service will be there for you. They were there for us about a year ago. Blew a tire, 5:20 on a Friday. I called Jay's Southland Tow. They came out. They fixed it by 6 o'clock. We were up and running. We were on our way. So when something bad does happen to you, you want to be able to get it handled right away. And Jay's Southland Tow Service will do that. You don't have to worry about the insurance company getting involved and delaying things. Just call Jay's Southland Tow. So keep their number handy, 816-779-4TOW. 816-779-4TOW or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments and Tammy from the West, and it's Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
When I started watching my favorite team as almost Andy Reid, I couldn't get out of the parking lot due to my new popularity. Renner Garage Door has an offer that's just as popular. $100 maintenance check to keep your door running smooth. Get a free replacement quote. Renner carries top brands like Deldon, Amar, and LiftMaster. Family owned since 1956. Call or visit rennerdoor.com. Renner forward and back.
RENNER. GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000 this month in March. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
I
had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Blake Fanning with Shawnee Mission Ford, here with a huge announcement. This month, it's employee pricing for all at Shawnee Mission Ford. Let me tell you one more time. It's employee pricing for all at Shawnee Mission Ford. You pay what we pay, not 1 cent more. You heard right. We got the employee pricing for everyone on new Fords. But that's not all. When you buy from Shawnee Mission Ford, you not only get employee pricing, but you also get our lifetime powertrain warranty, along with our 1-year Select Plus protection with your new vehicle purchase. This is what makes Shawnee Mission Ford different. You get all of it. Employee pricing on a great selection of new Fords, plus lifetime powertrain warranty, along with the 1-year Select Plus protection. And Shawnee Mission Ford is still going to offer you the highest trade values in Kansas City. Do not miss employee pricing for everyone. From America, for America. Shawnee Mission Ford, where we're on a mission to save you more.
Excludes 25 Super Duties, Raptor line vehicles, 25 Expeditions, and E-line.
All right, what did Terry Bradshaw have to say?
He didn't say anything. So Terry Bradshaw is on a plane. Here we go, the airline industry yet again, right? Terry Bradshaw is 76 years old. You've seen him on Fox NFL Sundays. Flying to Pittsburgh from Dallas. Okay? One of his former teammates is going into the Steelers Hall of Fame or whatever. So he's going up there for this event. Plane lands in Pittsburgh. People are sitting. 30 minutes goes by. They can't open the door. Terry Bradshaw saves the day. Rip that door open to the plane and everybody got out.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Yep.
That is badass. Let's go, Terry.
Right. It says Ricky.
Back it up, Terry.
Ricky Sayer of KDKA in Pittsburgh spoke to a traveler who credited Bradshaw for helping to force the airplane door open for passengers who were stuck on the plane for almost 30 minutes. The Steeler legend was back in town for a celebrity roast of his former teammate. The pilot announced that you can kind of hear he was chuckling as he said it, but he said, thanks to the strength of one of our passengers, we were finally able to get the door open. And I think we all knew he was alluding to Mr. Bradshaw, said the traveler. NFL legend Terry Bradshaw saved the day of a group of people stuck on a plane at Pittsburgh International Airport. Bradshaw was sitting in the first row of the flight Thursday from Dallas to Pittsburgh, and they couldn't get the door open. So Terry just said, you know what, the hell with this. Boom. Terry Bradshaw, old man strength, baby.
Let's go. Hell yes. Still got that Steeler moxie in him.
I mean, how good is that? Nobody can get off the plane, and Terry Bradshaw goes, I had enough of this, and barrels through the door.
That's incredible.
Let me show you how it's done, kids.
That's exactly.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's Terry Bradshaw.
I mean, you got him and Gary Player and who is it that won under from yesterday, 71-year-old?
Oh, yeah, 65-year-old Freddie Couples.
Freddie Couples, yeah. Freddie Couples doing his thing out
Bradshaw's
there.
76.
76, yeah.
Way to go,
It's
man.
unbelievable, man.
Good for him.
Terry Bradshaw saves people on a plane. Like, nobody wants to get on a plane these days. Everybody knows how bad it sucks. And then you get stuck on the plane, and here's Terry Bradshaw.
Let me show you how they do the tush push back in the 70s. Speaking of the Masters, we'll give you one more last leaderboard update brought to you by Twin Peaks. Each drinks scenic views. Your leader of the sole possession is Justin Rose. He's at -7. He's even on the day. Ludwig Oberg, he is at -4, even throughout 2 holes today. Bryson DeChambeau,
is now at -4. He's 1 under through 2 holes today. Corey Connors will tee off at 11:22, also at 4 under, and then Scotty Scheffler also at 4 under. He tees off at 12:23. That's just some of the names that have moved on up above everybody else. Rory McIlroy is -1 today, so he is -1 for the tournament. Still 6 shots off the lead, as we had said earlier in the show, of recent history. If you're not in the top 10 after day 1, you do not win the Masters.
Yeah.
So that's why today I took a little wager and put it on Bryson DeChambeau to win the whole thing. I think that would be great for golf. I think that'd be great for the public viewing. I know a lot of people may not like him still, but he has revamped his career into a likable personality. And I think that would get a lot of people viewing the Masters to see if Bryson can do it. He would not be somebody that you would have expected going into this tournament. Maybe for a lot of people, maybe there's some of you that were like, no, dude, he's been playing good golf. That's fair. I told everybody in the studio when they were asking me who I was going to pick, I said, I don't know, man. Maybe you have Bryson in your top 5 finish. Right now that's going that rate, but now he has a chance to win the whole damn thing. Would be a great story. But 2 of the greatest stories yesterday that I saw, now this was from the Par 3 Challenge, but this is Frankie Fleetwood, Tommy Fleetwood's son.
I love him and Mac, man.
Yeah, this is such great audio from a child that gets golf.
Well, I've been doing my hardest to get it over the green. I've been practicing as hard as I can. Just not reaching it this year, but I'm just trying my hardest.
One more time for those in the back if this doesn't melt your heart.
Well, I've been doing my hardest to get it over the green. I've been practicing as hard as I can. Just not reaching it this year, but I'm just trying my hardest.
It sounds fake, you know?
It's not.
I love how he says just not reaching it this year.
Yeah.
He's
But
last
I
year
got
he
a
was-
few more years to go.
And then yesterday, as I always end shows to do nice things for people because you never know what it could do for them, Gary Player had some audio that started off as like a funny bit and turned into like a serious good quote. And it will pull on every single one of the strings of your heart because he just, in Gary Player form, delivers one of the best things I've ever heard at the Masters.
In 1997, when Tiger Woods won the Masters, he revealed that he famously ate at Arby's every single night. I was wondering when the last time you had any fast food was.
Well, you don't reach 90 as I do if you eat a bunch of crap, I can tell you that. But that's your choice. You know, everybody has a choice. I want to live to 100 because I love people, I love golf, I just love life. I've got a young girlfriend who've changed my life. How about that at 90 finding a girlfriend? Tom's not as old as me, but he's also found a new one. And and I'll tell you what, guys, one of you or your wife are going to die. One of you going to die. One of the spouses is going to die. And it's not the end of life. And so many people, that does happen, and they get so disheartened that they don't think they should continue life. The greatest gift bestowed upon a man or woman is life. And so my ambition is to reach 100. So I went to India and I met a gerontologist, and he gave me 11 things to work on, which I adhere to. And so I might drop dead tomorrow, but I'm giving it a hell of a try.
Did he list the 11 things or not?
No, but he said he's could drop dead tomorrow, but he's going to give it a hell of a try.
Hey, he's reached 90. I mean, how great was that, right?
Awesome.
How awesome was listening to 90-year-old Gary Player going, I've never eaten at fast food, but I got a young girlfriend. Let me tell you about her. I'm going to outlast her. That's awesome, man. I love it. Gary Player's awesome.
Good dude.
It's a good perspective.
Yeah,
It
for
is,
sure.
yeah.
because there are people out there that struggle with that when they lose their life partner. And then it's like, well, what do I do now? You know, or, you know, you might lose your job, or you might, you know, something catastrophic happens in your life. You could just burrow away and call it a day and just pout and moan and you know, just mourn and all that.
Right, yeah.
Or what you could do is you say, you know, what would my other person do in this situation? What would they think of me of this person? And cherish life. You know, we've lost a lot of cool people of recency here. And I know for a fact that most of them, if not all of them, would be like, don't cry about me being gone. Go do your job. Go be your person. As someone who lost their mother, I could have crippled away and never done this in my life. But I know that she would have cussed me out. And I know somewhere above, she's looking down on me today going, damn it, son, you did exactly what you wanted to do. So it gets everybody differently.
Yeah.
And when Gary Player said that yesterday, I cried because I was like, you know what? This speaks to me. This speaks to my stepdad. This speaks to other people that have lost loved ones and people in their life. And Man, it's tough, but it's even tougher on you if you just burrow away because that's not what they want. They want you to keep going.
Gary Player, man, I'll tell you, he should be everybody's idol right now. I mean, living to 90 and looking like that, he looks better than most 40-year-olds, you know? And that's not being hyperbolic or anything like that. I mean,
it's fantastic.
I look at a lot of folks, I'm like, dang, you ain't going to make 50. Gary Player's at 90, and like, how did you do it? Like, my friend Ralph called me yesterday, and he goes, it's been 6 months since I had my last physical. He goes, I'm down 20 pounds, I'm off cholesterol meds and all this stuff. I go, well, what'd you do? He goes, diet and exercise. That's it. That's all it's about, right? Like, you can take control of your life with diet and exercise. You can change everything by what you eat and how you exercise and how you treat your body. And Gary Player's living to 90. He's going to make it to 100.
Celebrate life and do it with other people, and you can do it very easily. You can go do a nice thing for somebody today because you never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Stay safe, stay kind, stay groovy. Coming up next, it's Cody Gold and Drew from 10 to 2. Alex will give you all of the Kansas gambling updates you need here on 96.5 The Fan. Talk to you on Monday.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball.